Nations, one more means a point. Back and tilted courage. These guys, they're gonna go after each other here. They have to. There's no way. There we go.
There it is again. I mean, this is what it's all about, folks. Nick versus Aiden. Aiden 2, Nick 0 so far in the fights. I know Nick has family here watching, a lot of people this weekend wanting to see how he can perform. This is probably, Nick has had such a long competitive history in esports. This is probably the biggest tournament he's ever been in, and here it is, the battle again. We've seen this before. Here it goes, round number 3. Aiden peeking the corner. It's Nick building the ramps. Aiden getting the wall in front, just to trying to make sure he's covered and can have some quick edits on out. There's another close ramp. Expect a quick rotation on it. He's going to
the footsteps. He knows Nick rotated up top.
Yeah. Nick's got the high ground now, and I think he'll kind of reset to the top of this new building. There is still Ecstatic just standing still in the big gray building.
If you don't move, they can't hear you, Jack.
Both these players so healthy in this fight. The last time we saw Aiden versus Nick, it was Nick with only 100 HP. I believe there's a slight health advantage for Aiden at the moment. Probably about 10 HP difference. 14 HP, I think is exact. But Nick is back in big gray where there is still Ecstatic hiding behind one of these doors.
You notice he hasn't even moved. He's barely turning and not even really weapon swapping. I think Ecstatic at this point knows that both Nick and Aiden are here. He's waiting for this fight to play out. And Nick, you see, he's looking around the corner. He's watching and saw the rotation. He's going to try and get a top-down surprise here. Maybe drop in the shotgun coming out. Shotgun and then swap to the dualies. You can hear him moving around underneath. The audio tracking these players. It's just...
Ecstatic is close by Nick right now. He's like right behind one of these walls. Back over to Poach, though. We've got to show some love to the other players, too. Poach trying to build on up. Still a little bit of a fight. One player just below him right now. Mighty bank. I love this. Banking the frag grenades off the wall. They'll fall right at the bottom of the structure, and here comes the build battle. Poach trying to keep up. Actually gets pyramided by the opponent over his own build, and Povsy cuts down Landjock. That's Povsy's third limb of this game.
Spray from that the blue drum gun, one of the most favored weapons we've seen in scrimmage, competitive games.
Poach wants
very
this
low.
fight.
Poach has got to push.
Poach wants this fight.
Knows.
He's hunting right now. Poach for his second limb of the game. Can he break through this structure? Povsy just trying to heal with this campfire. Poach wants this player dead. Can he get the high ground? The pyramid blocked for the moment.
He heard that sound of his opponent hitting the dirt down there. He knows he dropped all the way down. He's going to take advantage of that and drop in. He's going for the replace every single time, but Povsy's blocking it repeatedly. He's trying to put down the pyramids, the ceilings, anything to stop Poach from getting in and taking advantage of the low HP. And what that does is Poach still knows he has an opportunity to be aggressive. He knows Povsy must be missing a lot there. And the rotation out, it looks like.
Povsy just ran out. Wait, this was Nick Merckx. Low on HP, in a little bit of a fight. How does it end here? Ecstatic eliminating Nick. And you see, oh my God, the frustration there. We were saying Ecstatic was hiding in that build for so long. Nick Merckx with an early exit yet again.
It looks like the player that Poach took shots at that was to his southeast might have been a third player in there. He catches the edit there, takes ownership of the ceiling and gets Povsy as he's trying to back out.
Very patient from Povsy. You got to, sorry, from Poach there. Never went into Povsy's build. He knew he had time, and he still has the launch pad to get away.
Like you said, Povsy did have 3 eliminations. That's a single point for him. Nice actually right now has 3 limbs. Morgas has 3 limbs, and Blue T has 3. That's a single point for each of them. Feel really good about that. Looking forward to the rest of the day. A number of players still alive. Saf, Poach, and Ecstatic all sitting on 2.
Jack might just die in the zone. Jack might just die in the zone. No. There's
Ranger
the quick elim.
Securing that elimination. We actually watched Ranger in his qualifiers do quite a bit of solid gatekeeping of the river.
Yep.
It's good to see him get an engagement.
He's got to get out of there,
and still win as well.
And it begins. The little structures, the little huts, the 1x1s. It has started. Minigun, though, being sprayed into Kayun, who's dropped all the way down to the side of this mountain. Dremen is close by as well. Who's that spraying? Babe Jesus, I believe, from Tempo Storm. Oh, Rip to go. He's out of there. He wants to follow this up right away.
He's going for it. Drops in. Not a whole lot of HP. but he's playing very aggressively. I think the thought is that minigun would have torn through his opponent's materials, thinking he can't layer up against me anymore. So, you know, a heavy shotgun right into the drum gun, that back and forth combo, and players like Vape Jesus are going to be really good at timing their shots on that. He can get the elimination if he pushes. He can catch this player unable to build. Replays, Bizzle, Wheats, J Cuddy, all hanging out north side of Fatal Fields, very populated. A lot of those angled stairs. Yeah, we've seen that before. When you see players do that, Jack, what are they doing with that?
Well, basically, the way you're running, so you don't have to lose your momentum with your sprint. You angle the stairs to basically block the area that the shots are coming in from. You use it as cover. You're not having to awkwardly jump back and forth and swap and spin around. It's just kind of a clean way to build right across. It uses kind of the least amount of materials too. Aiden's still in this, going to bounce pad and try to follow up his opponent. That's Ecstatic, who actually eliminated Nick Merckx. I think Aiden say, hey, that's my job so far today. I want vengeance now, my friend, as he'll fall on down and reset the fight.
Klinger is potentially pushing him out there. He's looking for a better opportunity and any materials. He's very low right now for this time in the game. 1:30 remaining before the next circle. He's going to go for a jump shot here, but his opponent, Ecstatic, walling off against him, just preemptively defending himself, knowing Aiden is very accurate at close, trying to get an angle. That little peek, look at the little hole he's trying to take shots through. Aiden might have to layer up the other side right now, but he's not going to. He's going to go for the shot and then block it off. Any sort of like, just take that single second, that millisecond almost, and get the shot. So you see Ecstatic, he knows the hole's still there, knows Aiden's still underneath. Just kind of pacing his engagement. Just the right timing is going to be key here. Here it comes. Aiden low materials pushing in the shot on Ecstatic, and Aiden gets the elimination.
And that would have been for 3 limbs if Ecstatic could have gotten it. Aiden's still so healthy in this fight. One player just above. The quick edit out. Looks like Aiden's lost the high ground for now. Jukes out, and he's going to break down the structure. The opponent drops Aiden with the elim. That's 3. That is 3. And what's this? A chug jug!
Looks like at that point, Aiden started to build to defend. There might be another player pushing in. The FPS from CLG takes Tendons out just south of Salty Springs. Yes, we saw this a moment ago. Yeah, apparently secured his second elimination, 1 away from a single point, and he is sitting on quite a few spray weapons today. It's an LMG, which you don't see too often, but players up close, that thing tears him up. He's got Blue T above him, who may not realize, but look at Blue T's materials. Over 2,000. He has so many builds. He's got a blue drum gun. Decent. Decent, to say the least. He's got the ability to rotate away now because he can just layer up as he backs up. He does have the rocket launcher. Splodes right now. Maybe not. I guess it's time to use them. Usually you see those saved for late games. They're very good at dropping structures, especially when the players are playing slow. Is he going for the trap?
Oh, just lost the high ground at a moment's notice, and yeah, he immediately loses it, falls right back down. Not sure exactly who he's battling right here, down to just 39 HP, though, how quickly it all ends, and now he's in the low gravity zone.
I believe that's Blue T's in a 1v1 against right now. Blue T's going around to the rotation. South side of the tree, using the tree as cover, misses the shot. He's got to defend right now, 6 HP.
I think he knows the end is near. Blue T hunting his opponent. He might just die to the zone.
He's got bandages, and it's not ticket for enough necessarily to beat it. If he popped the bandage early, you see it, yeah, FPS going for that bandage. Every little bit counts. And Blue T saying, I'm waiting. I haven't seen you in the feed to the storm yet. The third player, somebody watching from a distance, taking shots. Nice gets Amon's in the feed. 20-meter snipe shot, very close range snipe shot. Blue T 3 eliminations, 39 players remaining, 20 seconds till the zone finishes. And it's going to be time to mix it up a little bit more. Goss right now sitting on 4 eliminations, Nice with 4 eliminations, Blue T at 3, Aiden at 3, Saf at 3. All 5 of those players still alive, and points for each of them.
Posey. The FPS just lost to the storm, so there it goes. Blue T not able to get that elim. Is already at 3 though, so can't be too upset. Here's a look at your full scoreboard. A lot of players at the top still in this. As we say it, actually Nice gets dropped. You see live right there. But Aiden still at 3. His teammate in Ghost Saf still alive. Poach is at 2. Nate Hill is at 2. Some big names at the top of these scoreboards right now.
Now, hopefully before too long, there's a number of players we haven't had our eyes on too much. Just the feed has been quiet with them. Players like Tfue, who I was literally about to say his name, and lo and behold, here we are. You got a top down on Kayun. Now, if he's been watching the feed from previous games, he's seen Kayun has eliminated a number of high caliber players with ease, almost. Poach, Chap, a lot of big names.
Replays as well.
Replays, yeah, exactly. I would be concerned if you know you run into him.
Quick little spray from Morgoth there. So many materials. And 4 limbs, 3 med kits. Morgoth is everything you could ever ask for. You see, just on your screen alone, Bizzle, 72 hours, Chap. Here's replays at maxed HP. Here's an update on Aiden, where he stood up to this point. Oh my gosh.
Heavy shot from Snood there, taking advantage of the swap to the SMG to spray Aiden down. Still comes away with 3 eliminations, though. That's 3 points total on the day, so he's well ahead of many other players. And he does have half the games left today, Courage.
Absolutely.
Morgoth looking for his 5th to secure a 2nd point. Would put him at 4 total for the day. 2 behind our current leader, C9 Blind, who was eliminated very early this game. Don't forget, 94th place with a single elimination. Cryo and Nate Hill taking shots at each other. Nate knows he's got him on the outside. Just did damage, knows there's no shield left. That's why Nate's pushing. And the Porta Fort might actually catch Cryo off guard. He's looking for a rotation here. Gets the shot, and Cryo goes down.
And those are the shots you just have to hit. He's got an opportunity to snap with that heavy shotgun.
The prize of a golden double barrel.
Oh, he gets everything. He gets the drum gun, the gold double barrel, legendary double barrel. Here's Cryo again against Nice. There's the cleanup there. That was his first elim of the game. Here's Tfue and Nate Hill, teammates on FaZe Clan. Might be a fight coming here soon between the 2 of them.
Wait and see here. He's got a hunting rifle, double barrel. This is actually a pretty common setup for a player like him. I would almost drop the hunting, and if you got a scope AR, we've seen it in his hands so many times in previous summer skirmishes. You can hear the fight underneath him, the shield. He knows the player just got eliminated. It might be time to go for a push here.
Yep. Tfue just trying to spot. He's got multiple frag grenades to use. Banking them. Unfortunately for him, does drop down on top of that structure, which, yeah, that was definitely not his plan. Now it's time to begin the launch. He's in, oh my gosh, down to just 19 HP, and again, he'll have to fall on back.
Getting caught tunnel visioning with those grenades, not really moving too much. We've even mentioned other players kind of wiggling back and forth. Even if you're doing something like dropping frag grenades down below, you're going to get punished when players are watching every single structure. Knowing somebody's up there, they're going to take shots at every opportunity they can. And Tfue was kind of caught off guard. Like I said, tunnel visioning, not necessarily your best friend in a situation like this.
You have to think the end must be near. Oh!
A look of disappointment on
doing his best
Tfue's
impression
face.
of Tim the Tatman there as he falls to a swift death. Way the road.
A very wide angle shot here. You have a ton of players hanging out at very close quarters. This is going to be a theme for today. People are going for placement, knowing full well that if you get the top 10, that is even just a single point that can mean the difference between 21st through 100th for 5K and pushing into the larger prize pools. Plus, knowing the Victory Royale is $25,000. That buffer is insane. Sap with 5 elims, already 2 points. And the Rockets are going to come in and kind of chase him out of the structure he's built up, but he's going to layer back up. You see even putting floors and ramps down to reinforce anything he's sitting in. That heavy sniper, I'd love to see just an edit, like a window edit, a quick peek and a body shot on somebody for an elim from Saf here. He's got the accuracy to do it. The zone's starting to push the remaining players in. Saf, the only one with 5 eliminations right now in this game. Snood sitting on 3 and a very close combat fight. He's taking, like we've seen this a bunch of times, every opportunity for these players, every second.
He has 18 explodes to use right now. 95 health in total, just staying alive, waiting on out.
Now might be the time to use those. Go for any knockdown you can get right now. Especially the higher up structures, stuff that might be connected to only 1 or 2 things outside of the storm.
Oh,
look at the window shot.
Right into the window. Will it inflict any damage? No, I think there was a quick edit by the player inside that 1x1. Sap, 5 elims, top 25 right now. He has the heavy sniper as well. Here's a look from the top down. Sam all the way up top. Sap using another bounce pad to try to move towards this next zone. This time he gets clipped. Looking at our scoreboard right now on our screen, Morgoth still alive with only 4 limbs. What I mean by 4 is he hasn't moved up to that top 5 quite yet. Nate Hill at 3, Poach still at 2, and Geomock just got his first limb on the blue tee.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. We got 23 seconds until it finishes, and now's the time. Everybody, you can see even through these materials get placed down as they're building. They're kind of see-through still, and you can see just silhouettes of players moving every direction. Tempo even down low, going for a bounce pad just to push as fast as he can away from an engagement that he knows he's not going to win. He does have the porta fort. Look at the layer of players to the left side, middle left side of your screen. There's so many in one spot. You know these guys are going to run into each other in some way. It depends on who gets the shot off first. There's so much movement, and traps right now, Courage, are going to be incredible. You heard one place down because you can catch players rotating through structure.
Chap. Chap.
Had a down drop, somebody put layers above himself.
Is that Chap on the other side of this wall?
You see more silhouettes. He's got the porta fort out. Maybe thinking about putting it down to try and get a drop on somebody above, knock everything down. Gonna take ownership of this.
Look at the zone. Everyone hugging that close side, getting ready to move. 10 seconds away. Remember, top 20 earn a point. And you're not happy with something you just saw. What was it?
The ridiculousness of this position it's terrifying to think half of the players are going to go down most likely during this rotation. And here we go. People flying through the air. Nate Hill getting laser, landing outside the zone, ticking, and that's going to be all she wrote for Nate. Too far into the storm and takes literally all it took was 2 ticks.
Yep.
All it took was 2 ticks.
Rip to go. Someone going to the high ground. I think Rex just got eliminated by a trap. You see Chap still with under 20 HP. Tempo with 2 limbs. This could be the difference between 2 points and 0 right now if he can make it to the top 10 or find the next elimination. Sam has not left this high ground at all. Only 1 rocket to his name. He's got to use this wisely. 13 players still left. Who will secure the victory royale and $25,000? Tempo's got nothing left right now. He's just hoping, Lupo, that he can make it in the top 10. A switch on over now to Ghost Fizzle. He's got 1 limb, but a ton of healing in his inventory. 10 minis and a slurp, and still a lot of materials left.
In the feed, you saw Poach get his 4th elimination. This is a player that thrives in these very close combat 100%. Engagements. He knows his way around these little buildings. You see all the way down the bottom. This is a position we've seen him in a ton of times. Gets tapped a little bit in there, but he has an opportunity to capitalize on this. Morgoth secures his 5th elimination. That's 2 points. Chad making a move, super low HP, and goes down on the move right there. That rotation is going to be tough. Everybody's moving simultaneously. 5 players left, Courage.
72 hours, eliminates base soldier. Geomock dies to the storm. Poach is out of materials. He can no longer build. He's hoping people have to drop on down. Morgoth now at 6 limbs, 1 away from earning the 7th, which would be another point for him. You see he's on a low level near Poach. Poach will wind up trapping all these levels as people try to drop down towards him. 10 seconds until the zone begins to close. He's got bandages to work with, but it's going to come down to a heal up, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. Who will make it out on top? Poach trying to take matters into his own hands. The storm slowly closing. 19 seconds, 18 seconds, 17 seconds. The fight's just a layer above Poach. He cannot even build up that 72 hours. His teammate getting dropped. Morgoth trades the limb. That's his 7th. Morgoth has a med kit. Sam has nothing to heal with. They've made it to the top 3. Morgoth has a chance to have a 6-point game himself to match that of Blind. Who will out-heal the most? Morgoth with another med kit. Sam dropping on down, trying to spray. Morgoth in the 1v1. Will he get the perfect game? He does. Morgoth with the victory. And look at the hype. 7 limbs and the victory royale. Back-to-back 6-point games. Blind, then Morgoth. And is he phasing up? All right, fine. I guess he's like, Banks, send over the contract.
We see you. He's waiting.
Send over the contract, please.
Like you said, back-to-back 6-point games. And we only had 1 during the entirety of the heats and qualifiers.
Does the back of his sweatshirt say 1v1 me playground? That is incredible.
It's a DM I get from you quite often, Kurt.
It is. But either way, congratulations to Morgoth. $25,000 richer. A 6-point game. And I think that moves him up to the top spot today as well.
Based on the previous 2 games, if I recall, he had 2 points. That makes a total of 8 for him over the course of 3 games. And we're only halfway done.
We are only halfway done.
But he's in an incredible spot. $25,000 richer as well. That's got to feel good.
Most certainly, I can promise you that. The man just moved right up the scoreboard. What a performance from everybody there. Poach tries to get it done towards the end. You see, can't out-heal that zone. Not as good as a med kit, but we've got some replays to look at first, starting with none other than Ghost Aiden. I think he secured himself another point that game with 3 limbs. This was the quick beam of the drum gun. 52 headshot damage with that crit. Back-to-back just shreds his opponent. This was that second limb onto Ecstatic. That's the player who actually eliminated Nick Merckx in the game. And then here, swaps around. Nibs falls to his death as well.
One of the best controller players. I mean, there's no argument here. Aiden has established himself. Extremely dominant and tilted. Yep. But that's not the only location. We saw multiple engagements there at the bridge to the far south along the river, and he's able to hit his shots. Very fast edits. One of the best players we've seen thus far, and he continues to show that whether he makes it towards the top 10 or not, he's racking up eliminations and very, very aggressive top-down gameplay. Oh,
for sure. And that's what it's all about. We also have a little highlight from Nate Hill. His game ended in quite an awkward way as he went to go bounce pad, but if you remember, he was actually the one to cut down C9 Blind at Fatal Fields right off the break of the game. And then this was the shot with the heavy shotgun. Look at this as he snaps onto his opponent. Actually, oh, we just missed it, but either way, he snapped, but then that's the bounce pad. It took him much further than I think he was hoping, and as he was going, he gets sprayed down, and the frustration there. Yeah, and the eye roll and everything.
The only option, I think, in a situation like that, you saw the trajectory he was taking. He could have put a wall up on his left and attach it to what was there and then immediately turn and put one in front of himself to stop. But it's so fast. You're moving so quickly through the air. And the trajectory, like you said, when the zone's moving, you've got players shooting at you from every direction. This is hindsight. I mean, in the situation,
for sure,
he tried to do everything that he could.
You know, coming into this weekend, 2 of the most winningest players of the Summer Skirmish up to this point, Vivid and Liquid Poach, were the 2 that I had my eyes on. Poach actually this game puts up some heavy limbs to earn himself a point. Did he get 5? He might have gotten 2 points.
Very fast edits.
There's a lot going on.
That ramp block versus opponents that are pushing up Giant right there, and then immediately editing. It's almost as if some of the reaction speeds, he knows that his opponent is going to react to being blocked off and turn away very quickly. And so he edits almost instantly after placing the ramp and takes a shot as soon as he can.
And this was him hoping to out-heal. This is where you just kind of cross your fingers. You see everyone in the background watching his perspective. Look at all those faces.
A tactic we've seen from some players. So these heal-offs at the end might seem like you're just spam clicking to see what you can get off in time, but the fact that he had 75 HP right there means he had to wait until he took a tick of storm damage to pop the first bandage. He could have healed just a little bit ahead of time if he had anything less than 75, and that could have made all the difference in the world.
Unfortunately for him, his game did end there. You saw, look at the crowd, very comfortable here in the bean bags in the Fortnite tent booth, whatever you call it. Either way, though, Morgoss, our new overall leader, I can confirm right now, just secured the Victory Royale, the full 6-point performance, $25,000 richer. He's on the floor with Zeke.
Just trying to get the 4-1-1 on the new grappler item. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Morgoss. Come on over, dude. I'm getting word you are now the overall leader. So not only do you get all the eliminations, you get the 6 points, the victory out, 25K, and the overall leader. Dude, how are you feeling?
I'm shaking right now, honestly. I can't believe it. I mean, I've been practicing for 5-6 months now. It's just a crazy feeling to finally pay off, you know?
I mean, so what was practice like leading up to this? Was it just, you know, how many hours a day? What were you doing? Were you running scrims?
Yeah, it's the professional scrims. It's probably around 10 to 12, maybe even 14 hours a day. But I think the biggest thing, the hardest part for me was sacrificing time with my family to practice and be the best.
I mean, but obviously this paid off, right? Sure, you sacrificed time, but then you show the world, guys, I'm more Ghost. Hello, 25K here at finals. I mean, how do you think your family's feeling after watching you do this?
They're crazy. They're crazy for it, I know. I wouldn't be here without them, for sure. They sent me out, they flew me. They've been supporting me for a few years now. It's a great feeling to finally make them proud, you know?
Now, what do you got to say to all the new fans that you've just made around the world, dude?
Phase up.
Best of luck, Marcos. We'll see you in the upcoming games. Courage, Lupo.
They got it. They got it figured out. He might be doing well with in-game, but apparently still needs to learn how to have a handshake.
12 times the charm, Jack. Yeah. Takes a little while. It's okay.
It's okay.
You hear him, too, basically calling Banks out right now, saying phase up.
No, he's going to keep plugging phase and get every
opportunity. Time that he can.
You guys have open rooms out there in Los Angeles? I'm trying to move it.
I can appreciate the hunger. Well done.
Oh, it's fine. They'll drop closely. It's okay. But either way, we've got our standings update for everybody at home. There you go. The man right there at the top, tying the Alimza blind, but he's got 2 more points. Nate Hill, frustrating into that last game, but he's still in third. Sap and Aiden, both top 8. Still Poach with that performance moves into the top 8 there as well. And Liquid Champ, top 10.
You take a look, even the top 10 right here, 3 Ghost players representing Ghost Gaming. It's crazy to see how just recruiting for some of these teams, they're so good at it, spotting players that they know are going to perform well. They put on basically a clinic on how to perform in competitive games, and all these teams got to be feeling good about the placement right now.
Now remember, 21st through 100th all get $5,000. It's the top 20 who then have those incremental, is that a word? Incremental?
It is.
Yeah, it is. Increases in how much they pay out. All eyes on that. Who will be in that 20th spot? Who will be able to earn some of those bigger numbers? We are just halfway done with the action. I've been looking at some of the numbers watching online. It is absurd, the support right now for the finale of the Summer Skirmish. Hashtag Summer Skirmish. Get involved in the conversation online. Halfway through today, thoughts so far of the matches we've seen?
You're seeing players play much more reserved than they have the previous days. And the reason is, I mean, I can't blame them. There's $1.5 million in the line, and because leaderboard placement, top 10 is a point, they're going for that every single time. It is crazy how close together players are ending up. We've had some wide-angle shots of some of these areas that you lose count of how many people are stuck inside there, and I have a feeling we're going to see it again here in just a second, Jack, because the bus is prepping to launch. If you hear it, PAX West, make some noise.
Here we go.
Game 4.
Crowd getting behind it. You love to hear it. Here we go. Reminder, yes, through the qualifiers, we only played 4 games a night. Today, though, the grand final, we play 6. So there is still a ton of Fortnite action to come. Who will secure that top spot and walk away with the majority of that $1.5 million prize pool? There is our winner from Game 3. The perfect performance, 6 points to move all the way up that leaderboard, Morgos.
Now, during his qualifier, a number of times we saw him at 2 eliminations and just outside of the top 10. We watched him at one point try and track down, I believe, 3 different players going for that elimination and couldn't secure it. So right now, showing up, getting all 6 points in a single game has got to be incredible. Dropping in on that blue suppressed SMG, getting a pump action shotgun, and he's got a player in front of him already. He's going to get aggressive. The taps from a distance, only 9 damage because of the damage drop off the SMG. It's definitely not an AR, but it still put up numbers. Going to go for another push here, moving around the outside. And no materials, which means it's all about placement right now and trying to catch his opponent off guard. He's going to drop in and go for, you heard the chest open, gets the shot against the wall, but misses, but it still can secure the elimination on Takata. Very good up-close engagement.
That's the type of fight that you need to take early on, which is why I think he's seeing so much success, right? He knows he's got the shotgun and the swap weapon, which already gives him the tools to win an up-close fight. Nick Merckx back and tilted. Only 2 gray pistols, 158 HP. That's Gyron from Misfits just above him.
Looks like Bartology is in the back right corner there. I believe that's the taco building.
3 gray pistols. Cool.
And a
Nick
green.
has 4 pistols right now on the ground. Did he just miss a shotgun?
No, he left the pistol behind. In the corner there might have been a shotgun. He rotated past it pretty quickly. Going for the chest, though.
Oh, no.
Not bad, but he doesn't have a close-up weapon.
Not really what he wants right now.
Misfits looking for him. Gonna track him on the outside. This is going to be tough.
He's got the remote explosives. He wants this fight at the moment. He hears the fences being opened, and Aiden is still kind of hunting in Big Red with full HP.
I would almost bet if Gyron can get this boogie bomb off on his opponent, if he tracks Nick Merckx down, he's going to drop the C4 right on top of him and pop it at the same time.
No, Nick's got to keep just disengaging until he finds a better weapon. There you go.
There we go.
He's got something now. Oh, there's a blue pump right there, too. So he'll get the max health with that slurp. People still nearby. Anything good from the chest? to see later on.
Brandon over here, retail, the west side. He's sitting on, honestly, kind of a similar loadout, only a pistol for his kind of mid to long range engagements. He had a hunting rifle as well. WBG's Ranger in retail, not too far away. This is Brandon just moments ago here in retail row before he started rotating out, going for the shot and gets it. Catches Skirmish off guard, 86 damage, body shot, but it's enough to secure that elimination. Aiden.
I think this is what you think it is, folks.
Same spot.
Aiden versus Nick Merckx again.
Round
it never
4.
ends. Aiden trying to claim some walls. Nick weakened. On the other side, Aiden in the 2 battles so far has come out on top. Him and Nick dancing back and forth. The ramp edits trying to just keep the drop on Nick to maybe get a shotgun shot off. He wants to chase this fight down. He knows he's got the health advantage on him as he continues to be max HP in every fight he has with Nick. Does get tagged up once, dropped to twice now. Over to 152, here's the fight again. I believe this is Nick, tags him with the headshot. Shields down on both sides, stink bombs being used now. As I think Nick is gonna retreat as both players look to mini back up.
These guys, that move right there is one that's super common.
Never ends, these guys just keep going at it.
A little triangle to pop out those windows, super common in that building, and both players know it, which means that every floor kind of has exits, no matter where they are. He's going back inside. This is just relentless back and forth between these two guys, and they're going to keep going for it. He's going to use that as a way to try and locate.
Nick got a huge tag. Nick's going for it. Nick's going. Oh, he falls right back down. Once he missed that second pump, he falls right back down. I believe both players so similar in HP. Yeah, Nick's actually getting shot in the back by Misfits Gyron and beamed instantly by Aiden with that AR. And that gives Nick, and Nick already knew, but that gives Nick full confirmation of who's nearby him. He knows it's Aiden 100%, no doubt. They are on the same level right next to each other.
Back and forth around the stairs, every angle. It's cat and mouse in here. They're both trying to find that one spot.
Oh, he's blocked himself.
Blocked himself out. The jump and headed back inside. Another player sniping in, but Aiden sneaks into the window. The snipe isn't relevant anymore because it's Aiden versus Nick Merckx.
I can't tell if that shot gonna actually connect or not. I can't tell right now.
Another stink bomb, trying to get any tag he can on Nick, even himself apparently. The rotation through there is trying to catch
Nick is getting
guard.
So low. Those stink bombs have chunked away so much HP. He's down to just 99 health. Aiden still hunting from above.
Only 4 builds left too, which means Nick can't defensively play against him too much inside here. He's got to go for it soon. And here we go, 93. The shield shot, and Aiden catches him off guard.
Did Nick just swap to the wrong weapon and he claps?
Are you kidding me? I don't know what to say here, Courage.
Look at this 3-0, baby. I hear from the crowd as Aiden has yet to lose a fight versus Nick. And you thought Nick had the full advantage, but it looked like he messed up his swap or something because he just stood there and Aiden said, hey, friend, good stuff. But unfortunately, we've had 3 battles and I've won every single one.
Ranger's still back over here at retail. It's a wide angle shot in your top right just to kind of show you where these players are against each other, what Ranger has in front of him. And there's quite a bit of built up structure here. We'll have to find out if he has ownership of a lot of this or not. He doesn't necessarily know. You saw he was looking all the way up top, trying to track Brandon, thinking he's top of that wooden 1x1. But potentially little does he know Brandon dropped down already. He's going to keep checking, taking shots in, just kind of trying to. It's like trying to flash a flashlight over some bugs, get him to run out from the structure, see if we can watch Brandon on the move. Maybe doesn't realize here at Retail Row, Psalm is also on the far east side of the blacktop buildings, the stores. Ranger go for any materials he can, even on the move here. It might be mid-engagement, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Now blind, Tfue, look at this 1v1. Shots from Tfue, gets a couple accurate ones in the long range double barrel, 7 HP remaining. He's got bandages to patch up.
Sigh of relief, I think.
Solid 1v1. Aiden right now, by the way, the only player in this game with more than 1 elim. He's sitting on 2. A score of 3 total over the course of the day today. Tyler's someone we've seen put on a good show in the past. We interviewed earlier today, and he's had a few rough rounds. And hoping here, southwest side of Shifty, he can make some plays. Flower in the feed, getting reins knocked down back to Aiden and tilted. Looking for his 3rd elimination, Courage. Maybe tracking Coop Train on the rotation out there next to Loot Lake. All the materials he can gather. He's not sitting on a whole ton either. Is this a fight a push outside. This is the far southeast corner past Paradise. Rifts actually spawn off, basically off the cliff out here, and players will use that as a way to rotate back into the zone if they're forced to. Flower, by the way, picking up his second elim. Another player now at 2 eliminations. Cryo and Top Boy flying past each other, almost like a synchronized swim maneuver there. Morgos picking up an elimination, our winner last round on Jack. The Top Boy gets the shot on Cryo. Both low HP.
And a Klinger actually would have eliminated Top Boy right there if he stuck him once, but couldn't actually connect. This is STDX Vide. Close range, build fight there. Triz tries to go for the quick edit, but not able to snap fast enough. Nate Hill in the elimination feed again with another elim. He's already top 5 today. Rogue 00 Flower, our first player this game to reach 3 eliminations. He was already, I think, top 12 in the scoreboard of standings as well.
Prodigy Aces looking for a shot. Those little boxes. Put himself inside a shack. Where his opponent is over there. Aiden back here still untilted. Gets the shot and takes another elimination. That's number 3 for the game. Puts him at a single point. This one. A stack on top, that puts him at 4 total for the day. Nate Hill also tied at 4 points total for the day thus far. Fight tempo here. Make some moves. Low HP, barely any shield. He's got bandages. He's going to take an opportunity while his opponent here, Boyer, isn't necessarily pushing. XD.
Oh, that player with the nade launcher.
Almost
just
eating
blocks
explosion
it.
there, yeah. He's right next to the cube, which means shield is actually getting added to him. But his opponent, Turkeylips up top, knows if you shoot the cube, it lashes back out at whoever is closest.
Yes.
Turkeylips knows his opponent is sitting right on top of it, so if he shoots it, even though he's the one dealing damage, the cube is going to lash out at the player basically sitting on top of him.
Again, when they're near it, they're gaining some shield. First time we've really seen the cube come into play so far today.
I actually didn't even realize it was this far over. It's in Shifty Shafts now.
Yep. As it continues to maneuver around the map, still wondering what it even means. Probably something regarding Season 6, but who knows. It looks like players will begin to have to move towards this middle island. Just outside Fatal Fields. This is a Hysteria on the opposite side of the map. Quick double barrel.
First elimination. He gets it on EMAD, his first elimination this game. WBG's Punisher dropping the clingers down there. As soon as those start to detonate, like you said earlier, they drop down now once the structure that they were attached to disappears. Previously, they used to instantly explode. You'd see players throw the clingers at like a wall that they see someone hiding behind, shoot the wall out, and then it would instantly detonate. Not anymore. They drop down like gravity's pulling them down. He's looking for shots. Actually gets the elimination on Rogue's 00 Flower inside this box. Picks up all the loot. There's a handful of med kits in there. Yeah,
look at his materials.
Hopefully he grabs the 3rd med kit. Maybe he didn't realize that there was one sitting there. He's only carrying 2
Max
currently.
wood, max brick, 800 metal is what he currently had. Aiden, another engagement. He's got to move forward.
Bounce pad, go for it. He missed the build. Going for the bounce pad play to fly across. Almost perfectly. Are you kidding me?
And he actually gets the little benefit of the boost. He's going to land right on his opponent. He wants to keep the pressure on.
That box inside, though, he's going to have to smash his way out. Nobody owns these walls, so he's got to take an opportunity to melee those down. Gets caught underneath his own surface. Looks like he tried to build a floor and jump up. He almost went for the edit. Didn't get it off the time. Goes for the edit on that outside wall. He's trying to drop down underneath. Probably heard the rockets coming and reacted, thinking they're headed towards him no matter what, so it's time to build away. Trying to edit his way out. Change the angle against his opponent. Always kind of mix it up. You never want to repeat, and this is a good example of that. Goes for the shot in. A little clip in the shotgun. The LMG, a 52 in there, and gets the elimination on Coop Train. The crowd going wild here. 40 HP. Player 3 is into the match. 9 HP remaining, and Mars Cities gets the elim and stops Aiden from hitting 5 elims. That would have been 2 points, but only 1 this game.
Finally gets shut down. What a build performance right there. Boltnaga throws a stink bomb in. And that one is smelly, and Tyler's just dies to it right away.
That, by the way, is our 2nd elimination over the course of the entire weekend, week 8 of Summer Skirmish. 2nd elimination to stink bombs. I saw a stat online earlier. I said that one happened, I believe, in day 2 qualifiers. X's replays kind of bouncing back and forth next to each other. Spots, Bizzle rotating into the safe zone. Just kind of moving around, trying to track down anybody in these areas, looking through these builds. If there's anybody left alive here, if there's anybody watching, Replays wants to know where they are, and this looks like he is pretty alone here. But this wide angle shot, this is where the field starts to tighten up. You've got nobody right now that's currently alive with more than 2 eliminations. Diggy, Nate Hill, Punisher, and Wheels 960 all have 2 eliminations.
He doesn't have a lot to work with. I mean, look at his inventory.
He doesn't.
Thermal assault rifle, a gray SMG, and 5 bullets and a shotgun. He's going to get to a point where he kind of has to force something here soon. Here's our scoreboard of the players alive right now. No one remaining in the game has 3 elims yet.
Yeah. The shots from the side. He does have quite a few builds, at least for a little engagement right now. He could use the launch pad to fly away if there's any concern. And the shots coming in. He's going to have to try and build and defend against that. Over that edit to get out. Missing those edits, those fast edits like that, it can cost you if players are right on top of you. Imagine missing an edit like that, having to go for it a second time. Somebody's going to fall in and get an Elan on you if you're not watching.
That's how Diggy got a second.
Ranger outside the storm. No HP, no bandages, no med kit for Diggy, so he's going to take a little bit of damage. But coming away with an elimination of that, probably a good idea. It's it's a worthwhile trade.
Look at the high ground from Snood and Fulmer outside Fatal. Sam, the player launch pad, so he's just going to follow suit. But he's got to be worried about the player up top. Uh-oh, down to just 48 HP. Should be safe for the moment. All he's got left is Brick. He's half in the low grab zone, half not.
Nibs literally in a box right next to him. He might not have realized, he was getting shot from the player up top in the tower on top of the hill. He might not realize that Nibs is also hiding inside. I'm sure he saw the structure, and it's clearly one that has capacity to hold a player. There's no edits for anybody to come out of it, so I would almost assume he knows there's somebody's right there. Plus, the footstep movement from Nibs right now. He's in a tight spot here, though. Low HP, not a ton of shield. He does have a gold double barrel. You see him with it out right there, and Nibs is the player up above him. They start a rotation.
Wow,
just gotta watch for each other.
Farico blocks Lassius as he looks to build on up. Look at the inventory. Drum gun.
Oh my.
Gold double, or the legendary double barrel. 3 remote explosives. Chug 9 minis. But, it's all great to have, but you got to live through the fight to be able to heal with it.
It's like he went for a double barrel shot and whiffed it just over the top. The bloom on those things, sorry, the spread pattern, how wide it is on the double barrel. Plus, we talked about the damage drop off of those things. You have to be in bludgeoning distance for it to be at max effectiveness. And his opponent was so far away, it might not have even been worth it to go for it.
Jeez, listen to the build speed from Haste Farico. Steal. He's been shot by 3 or 4 players that aren't involved in this direct close fight.
I guarantee you he wishes he had the time to get that chug jug off, but all he has time for is his opponent underneath trying to pickaxe his way up through, gets the build, still owned that staircase. Lassius pays the price, gets caught off guard as the edit drop down. Quick double barrel shot. That thing in the same box, man. That thing's lethal.
That's a huge moment because that gives him the ability now to chug jug, assuming he's going to pick up that heavy sniper rifle. No real updates from Sam yet as he just is trying to stay hidden with how little health he has. Prodigy Ace has yet to get an elim this game. He's top 43.
You see Animal, I believe, in the webcam there on the right side watching from the side. Looks like he must have been eliminated earlier. I love how the players, they want to see everything that happens, so they'll watch every POV they can.
I mean, they're all so passionate about this game for a lot of these players involved. And I mean, you and I, this game's changed our lives. So you get involved here and you want to soak in it all and just enjoy the event. A look at our last real place of interest involved in the map is Fatal Fields. Nate Hill, 3rd elim here would give him another point, and
almost went for it. By the way, you mentioned the 3rd elim for point. Punisher right now, the only one still left alive. Hit the shot.
Look at his reaction. No way, he says, as that player who is just in his sights soars on out. Nate, is this going to happen twice in a row?
I don't know, he's going to go for it.
Whiffs the shot there, tags some shields. He's only got 57 HP. Can't get the elim as well. The tree was weak. No follow-up. He's going to chase it. I think he's going to go for it. He's risking the game on this.
He's hungry for that 3rd elimination. Securing the point would be pretty big. This would be point number 5 for him on the day.
He gets control of the wall.
His opponent building up the edit, coming out the top. He's trying to get a top down on Nate.
can't hit the shot.
Could not track Hysteria on the way down. 85 HP. Could have been a one shot from that heavy shotgun, but not enough. Missing the shot cost him that one. And the option there, Courage, you think going for it to try and get that third elim for a point was a good call. He wasn't sitting too high on HP. Maybe playing a little more secure and wait for your time to strike on somebody that isn't paying attention was a better call.
I don't mind it right there. You know, it's one of those things where everyone assumes the player's going to be so passive. He was hoping to maybe catch Hysteria off guard. It's also, he had no safe place to really go to. Everyone else was already set up and secured in the new zone. Marcity's just got blown up by remote explosives. That was Rico.
Horrify is actually sitting underneath. Yeah, he's not even moving.
Down,
Horrify is right underneath Turkey Lips.
And he's just chilling for the moment. Here's Poach, his first limb of the game. He'll get a slurp juice off that, which will put him at maxed health. It's the perfect item to get. Punisher, replays, and Cease also nearby.
60 seconds left before the first time the circle's going to move. 30 players left on the field, so we've had far more players eliminated early this game compared to even the first and the second, which means this won't be as tight, as chaotic of a circle move, but it's still going to be crazy. 30 people left. There are 29 now in this size of a zone is rough. Hysteria and your feed there getting another elim there. That puts him at 3, which is a point. That's his second on the day. Farigo has 4 eliminations, leading the players that are still alive in this game, which is 1 point for him. Punisher with 3 as well. Nobody else alive besides those 3 has 3 eliminations or more.
Strugs keeping the high ground. Punisher inching closer and closer to safety in this next zone. You see on the minimap, basically 1 block away. That'll probably put him as safe. He wants to claim all these walls so there can be no quick edit ins from his opponent. And he's still got 600 plus medals, so he's more than happy to do this. Is this ending in the low gravity zone? I think this is ending in the low gravity zone.
I believe it's about to push that way.
This is going to change how this entire final circle plays.
Players are going to have to be careful when they jump in this thing. You float much higher than typically you'd be used to, which means people that are going for shots on you while you're in the air, it's going to happen a lot. You might even see people, oh my gosh, the number of people that are jumping.
Oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Wait, what is happening?
Flying away in the air.
One of them's a shot. Wait, what is happening?
It looks like while they're in the zone, they're getting pushed up in the air. I've seen this a little bit online.
Wait, what is happening? The rune now flies you around? Even they don't know what to do. Look at this. What is going on? It's just floating them up and down.
Diggy and the feet didn't stick the landing, a 22-meter drop. You see them, they're going for literally anything. Players might try and catch themselves with builds.
Okay, no matter what, this is hysterical.
Hysteria going down on the feed. People are just taking SMG and rifle shots while flying through the air right now.
Wait, so is this how this low gravity field now works?
I've seen this a couple times, like videos on Twitter and stuff.
Do you activate this?
I don't know if this is...
What is happening? He's trying to box himself in. There you go. Okay.
Catches himself. He's... you see him put his hands up.
What is this zone right now? Oh, well, when I said it's going to change how this whole game is played.
You were more right than you realized.
I really was not expecting it. He is now floating in this.
He has himself boxed in basically to catch himself. He could open up basically a line across the top.
It's gone from low gravity to no gravity. Poach is like, I'm going to sit outside this. Oh my goodness.
13 players. The storm's going to start to move, maybe saving players from kind of a confusing way to engage there. There's no way you practice for something like that. 13 people left, which means if 3 more go down, Poach picks up a point. If he gets 1 more elimination, Poach picks up a point. He might get one right here. The quick edit, takes a shot through, but couldn't secure that one. Does get a shield tag. 1 player more needs to go down, and then everybody, there it is. Rio secures the elimination on Farigo, who we were watching earlier, fly through the air.
We're in the top 10. Everyone remaining now has earned a point. This is where Poach is in his most comfortable zone. He's got a launch pad to use as well. Still enough materials to make some things happen.
I think I saw on the feed a 53-meter fall damage elimination. Somebody was taken out by that, which might have meant as they were rotating in, they didn't get ahead of the anti-grav zone. The reverse gravity zone, whatever you want to call it. That was ridiculous.
At this point, yeah. I think anyone was expecting that. Poach now top 7, inching every second closer and closer towards this next zone.
Poach taking shots out, trying to do anything he can just to try and get a tap here. Holding the edit. Looking outside, Tendons rotating in right now. Sofa rotating in right now. Everybody's kind of on the move. Sofa might catch the opponent off guard. There's shots from the back. Poach tracks down his third elimination, puts him in the top 5. 2 more going down will get him yet another point here. A shot through times. You saw him there. He's waiting, just holding ADS, waiting for the wall to go down. He's trying to sneak through this edit. Got to get through fast enough and does not make it down.
Oh, the storm
gets limited by the
once
storm.
more.
4 players left.
That was his third. That'll give him a point. Remember, top 3 earn another point. Whoever drops next be a heartbreaking way to go out. So we've got eyes on Tendons right now at the bottom of this hill. They'll have to move a little bit up. Sean was taking this above it. A snipe, 9 meters. 9 meters from Bowman to eliminate Sofa. 3 players left. He's got no materials, but he's got a med kit.
At this point, he has the bounce pad. He's probably going to build 1 layer out and bounce his way down. If he's going to go for this, I don't think he could drop down just based on materials alone. A 1v1, drop it in. Sean going for it, takes a shot with shot. He gets it midair, 49 to 77, and misses the Tendons with the trap play. Are you kidding me?
Tendons with the trap a limb. Like he's going for Twitter clips. Look at this. Tendons spams the walls. Oh,
that was his 5th elimination as well.
That ending of that game,
a 5-point game,
was one of the wackiest things ever. Between the whatever the hell the zone was.
Welcome to Fortnite.
With the people floating around.
What do you
I have
say?
note cards. That's my notes after that one. That's where I stand.
What a game 4. We thought yesterday was insanity.
The weather's
Look at
nice
this.
out.
Yeah,
it's
gorgeous
nice, really nice out today.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands yet again.
Wow.
That was incredible. A trap play to finish.
Just throw up the replay. Just do it. We're all taking this in. This crowd, everyone just going nuts on the trap, going nuts on how it all ended. Here's Hysteria. Had that double barrel and just showed off its strength, close range. He's performed quite well today. I would say of all the days up to this point, this is definitely the best he's played. And, you know, he's been in the competitive gaming scene and at major tournaments for other esports for the last, well, decade plus. This man is no stranger to being in intense scenarios. There's the third elim that gave him a point. You got to be happy if you're Hysteria, to say the least. Moving forward, anyone's game still. That's the beauty of it. We've seen from these 6-point performances, which have happened twice already today, as we pull up Farico's replays here, literally anyone can rise up these scoreboards in these final couple games.
It's funny you say rise up these scoreboards. We watch Farico floating in the air. These players literally going for SMG.
that was Chap
going down in the air. Swapping weapons, just going for replays, anything they can while they're up close on top of each other. He actually got multiple. It takes Horrify out as well as how he got to 6.
Oh my gosh.
Dropping rockets, he sees players boxing themselves up, but at that point, if anybody has secured themselves kind of a chamber to sit inside, they can just take shots at him as he's flying. But what, Jack, what happened?
I need to hear from... Did that just get updated to the game? I know it always happens. Our winner at the end, Tendons, we'll see it again. The trap a limb at the end. I think he even surprised himself.
There was a point in time when players first started to get used to boxing each other in, maybe early in season 1 and 2, where they were going for these YouTube clip kind of plays where they put the walls down and trap them in. He does it in the middle, literally in the middle of the final week of Summer Skirmish.
That was a 5th elim too, so that actually put him at a 5-point game by himself right there. Not the full 6, but still, if you're Tendons right now, you just put yourself in a great spot to win a lot of prize money today.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's got to be feeling, like you said, $25,000 just for that win alone.
Yep.
And probably a solid high five for a trap elimination to win the game, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't win any extra money for that. But I believe we have Zeke. Oh, this is beautiful. This is going to be
one
incredible.
For everybody.
Zeke has Aiden and Nick Merckx.
Hey.
All you, Zeke.
I mean, you guys, were you get tilted? You want to see Aiden and Nick Merckx? Well, I mean, gentlemen. I mean, hey, I've got him. So, guys, let's talk. Tilted Towers. What's going on? We'll start with you, Nick.
We got some spicy fights going on right now. The first one, I didn't put up too much of a fight. He had a great right-hand peek on me. The second one, I swear I thought I hit him for 500 health. El Taños over here, the limited time game thing. he had so much health. I kept cracking him and cracking him and cracking him. And then that last one, those poison nades you threw on top of me, just, man, again and again and again. But it's been good. This is the first time I feel like I've just been really pressured and tilted. It's going his way right now. But yo, I still got more, and I'm gonna give him my best. You know?
What about you?
Dude, they've been close fights. First one, was a tricky window shot. Second one, he got me at like under 10 health, something like that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a PC player. This guy's nuts. He was shooting me through the windows, everything. I was like, dude, I'm definitely dead. And I kept getting chests. I got like slurps and everything to keep me alive. So then the third one, it was tricky. We were in Nick's towers, and I had a couple gas grenades, to make him move around. So we're having good fights, man. We got 2 more games. I'm sure we'll meet each other again.
Towers today, but hey, I'm gonna try to take him back. All right, I'm trying to take him back. Yo, I hit you for 500, man. I'm telling you, I counted it. I'm no mathematician, but I got him for 500. He just kept staying alive, man.
So I mean, is it fair to say you guys are gonna keep Lightning tilted? I mean, yeah.
We already know, man. Yeah.
All right, so who do you? We got 2 more games. So I mean, is it going to be you two? Is it going to be you two? Is it going to be 1-1? What do you guys think?
Dude, truly, man, these fights are long. There's a lot of ins and outs. I guess it's just who plays better, who's quicker to the punch. He loves it. He's really aggressive, But if he falls into my trap, it should work,
What about you?
I think he's gonna get me a game. I like to just get the mats quick and just rush him before he can get what he likes, and yeah, I'm gonna just keep putting the pressure on him.
I mean, and the final question I want to ask you guys are playing on controller, and you guys are showing up everyone. Do you guys have any tips, any words you'd like to say?
No, man, I'm super happy to be here. I feel that it's a very unique and cool thing that him and I get to compete against PC guys and stuff and kind of put on for an entire community that I know I care a lot about. I'm sure you do as well. And we're both doing very well today, especially you. Just keep on carrying the torch, and thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's an honor to be here as well. We're doubted as console players, so to come in here and compete and play so high, it's awesome. And to meet Nick, it's awesome, man, having some good controller players in here.
Fantastic, gentlemen. Best of luck to you guys going forward. Courage, Lupo, back to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, live in the venue, could we make some noise for those 2 great competitors here?
People have been going
Absolutely.
nuts every single time they run into each other. They even threw together a quick round 3 fight graphic for the screen, which was awesome to see that. And honestly, like Nick said, we've got 2 games left. I have a feeling he's going to turn it back into Nick Towers at some point, my friend.
Right.
Damn fam will be very proud when it happens.
Oh, they roll deep out there online. What a day it has been so far. I know everyone's talking about the ending of that last game. What a funny moment. But either way, I think we should have the standings updates for you guys here very, very soon. So actually, first, this is a little TV, little technique right here. Standings right after this. Quick break. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the continued coverage of the grand final of Fortnite Summer Skirmish. My name is Jack Courage Dunlop, and I'm joined by none other than the wonderful Dr. Lupo. We have played 4 of our 6 games, and so far, things have been crazy.
We've seen some insanity, Jack, and we got 2 games left. It's not even close to done yet.
Yes.
$1.5 million on the line. Players starting to establish pretty significant leads in terms of points, even eliminations. We've seen aggressive gameplay. We've seen people playing very secure. We've seen, honestly, some of the fastest edits and replacements of materials to just make windows and take shots at people that I've ever seen.
Yep.
The number of players that we've seen people flying now, which is insanity. And I mean, this is Fortnite. This is one of the things that drives excitement for a lot of players is just how aggressive people can play a game that is so open to so many players. I feel like everybody plays it.
No,
everybody plays it.
For sure. Everyone knows what it is. Everyone plays it. Now, it's a quick update for you all at home. I know that last game was absolutely crazy from top to bottom. We have some a little message to share. So, all Fortnite competitions are played on a live server environment. Players last game were in an anti-gravity zone. The anti-gravity zones have been disabled for the rest of the competition today. So in games 5 and 6, we won't be flying around nearly as much.
It was exciting to watch. Don't get me wrong, and we both kind of didn't know what you threw a card in the air, and
no one got hit by it.
Exactly, no one, not even remotely. Can't prove it. It's not anywhere on the internet. But for the following 2 games, the last 2, Game 5, Game 6, that stuff, like you said, it's off
on the ground.
Jack, you'd said before, stick around till after the break for the standings. Well, guess what? We've got them.
Boom.
Let's take a look.
Let's see where we stack up after 4 games. Morgoth in that beautiful top spot. 12 elims, 8 points, feeling darn good. Tendon's last game, though, with the elims, which was nuts. And then you see Liquid Poach actually moving to that 4th spot.
Now, Morgoth, like you said, the leader there with 8 points, but there's a number of players very close on his tail. We have a ton of people here with 3 or more, even 2. Boyer down there in the 16th slot. A lot of high elimination count. We already have multiple players, 4 players with double-digit eliminations, but that's not all. Here's your 17th through 32nd. Tons of players. We've seen Kayun putting on a good show, taking out a lot of big-name players, people you've seen all over the place in Summer Skirmish the prior 7 weeks, even the last 3 days, and he's starting to assert some dominance. Punisher here starting 33rd. And all these players, it is terrifying to see the list of names here. And you have to remember, too, we've seen already multiple people in the grand finals drop 6 points in a single match. That means, I mean, the leader's at 8. Anybody can catch up. Anybody, nobody's safe. That's absolutely crazy.
$1.5 million on the line, 21st through 100th. All take home $5,000. So the top 20 obviously see that leap in prize money. That's going to be kind of our thing we look at. Another thing to keep in mind, a victory royale is $25,000. I saw Cypher actually tweet out and say that was a $25,000 trap elimination. And that's exactly what it was.
It's absolutely wild. Now we're just getting word in. There's actually an additional change on top of what Courage mentioned earlier. The anti-gravity zones being disabled. Are you strapped in?
Ladies and gentlemen, do we want another announcement? I think we could give another announcement to the folks at home. We are adding a 7th game to today now, so everything stands and we get even more Fortnite action. The day keeps on going, and the 7th game will also have the additional $25,000 prize for Victory Royale.
The insanity
so this day
of
just keeps getting better and better,
folks. Yet, Jack.
I'm loving this right now. I might miss my flight later. I don't even care. Let's keep having a good time.
3 games left now. We're going to roll into Game 5 before too long here. But 3 games. That's, like you said, an additional $25,000.
Yep.
I think anybody that might have been confused, thrown off by the players flying through the air,
like we were.
I mean, you saw it on our faces. That was crazy. They get another shot. Game 7 is going to come up at the end of today. What a way to go out today, too, man.
I'm loving this, man. The storylines keep building. The interview with Aiden and Nick Merckx was hysterical. A lot of respect from them.
It's a rivalry you love to see. Everybody here loves to see it, too, right?
Sure.
Can we make some noise for these gentlemen?
They've been getting into it as well. It's been awesome to watch. Definitely becoming fan favorites, players making a name for themselves. This is absolutely the biggest spectacle at PAX West this weekend. A fully at capacity Fortnite booth with the grand finals of the Summer Skirmish. obviously, this is like just the beginning for Fortnite competition and what's to come. I can't wait for more announcements. Obviously, Season 6 right on the horizon. Everyone wondering what's happening with the Cube. You've got the new limited time mode coming out next week. High stakes, all the new skins. It's a darn good time to be a fan of Fortnite, I can tell you that much.
Jack, from one friend to another, if you don't put up a good grappler montage clip, literally the day that you get home and play, first game, literally first game, I'm going to remove you from my friends list. I'm sorry.
Well, all right. No,
I won't
please
really.
don't do that.
I would never do that. Are you kidding me?
I'll yell at the end of it, and it'll be uploaded to all social media. So
of course, absolutely.
That's the only way you play
It's what you do.
Yeah, that's literally my job. We are getting into Game 5 here very, very soon. Appreciate your patience as we got all things sorted. As you can imagine, after last game, some people wanted to have some chats about
exactly
what occurred, but there's all our players now. They've been told there's a 7th game. There's another $25,000 up for grabs, the Victory Royale. Everyone loading on in. Nick Merckx getting the headset ready as the crowd gets behind him. Top boy there on your screen.
Nate Hill right next to him. All these players, it's so many people to keep your eyes on. There are a number of players too that we've discussed multiple times that were stars for the qualifiers before this. We have not seen put up a big show per game yet. We've got 4 games down, 3 remaining though, which means it's still anybody's game.
Yeah,
we can see multiple 6-point games still, as we've already seen in the first 4 matches. We've seen some crazy plays, some really good shots from players, some predicting the way that other players are going to play, the movements they're going to make. I love seeing that kind of stuff come out.
Yep. And I believe we're going to get a quick reset on the lobby as one player wasn't connected. So we'll go ahead and get that all sorted before we hop into Game 5. A lot of people talking after that last game about everything that obviously went on. Hashtag Summer Skirmish online. Just crazy to see just how many people are watching this. I mean, you mentioned to me some figures of people who were tuned into streams.
Over 700,000, I think, on Twitch alone, and that's not the only place it's being broadcast. It's incredible.
It's a lot of people.
Incredible.
That is a lot of people.
A few, yeah.
You know, for everyone during the break, one funny moment that happened was, if you missed it, I threw my card and actually hit wonderful lady.
Did not actually.
In the back of the head here. She's not suing me. I did give her a bunch of exclusive PAX codes for the spray in game, but funny moments like that. I think it was between the anti-gravity and that, we had a lot to talk about during that break, so it went by pretty quick.
It did indeed. And you have to remember, if you're here at PAX West, if you're in Seattle even, Jack might have mentioned earlier, it feels like the place is packed to the brim, but please, make your way on down here. We have 3 games left, and you don't want to miss a second of what's happened so far today. Fortnite they're setting the standard for events like this, and Summer Skirmish, I feel like, is only going to be the beginning of what's to come. I'm sure Epic has all sorts of shenanigans up their sleeve. The competitive scene is only getting started.
100%.
We've got all sorts of, like you said, we've got a new mode coming down the pipe here. This is only the beginning too. We've seen a trend from them even at events like this, like PAX and everything before this. We saw the Pro-Am at E3 was outside in a stadium.
Yep.
This is only the beginning. There's so much more to come.
No, for sure, and it gets me excited just to think about the future. Either way, we talked about it a little bit earlier, but to look back at our games so far, we mentioned how every break of these games, we can basically just wind up seeing exactly these same players fighting because they're all landing at the same areas for the most part. You know, we were looking at Aiden and Nick fighting in Tilted, Cryomi as well as Saf fighting at the top of Viking Village, Hysteria getting into engagements down in Greasy. Now going into what's going to be the 5th game that these guys have played against each other, it's getting to a point where you can almost land and know, okay, this guy's going to push me from this area in the next 15, 20 seconds. This guy's going to be in this building. I'm wondering if we see any strategies change now to kind of make it so they can potentially get the drop on their opponent that lands near them in their drop zone.
Well, some of them, like you said, I mean, Aiden and Nick Merckx, we'll use as an example. It's been a spot, like a highlight moment every single game thus far. And Aiden, the 3 of the 4 games so far, there you see him on the screen right there. Both very, very kind to each other in that little interview. But I'm sure Aiden is thinking, yeah, right now I own Tilted Towers.
Yeah.
Nick, I dare you to come back here. And that kind of confidence, that's going to help him. Whether it's accuracy or positioning, he's got, well, seemingly he's got it all so far. The window peaks, everything he's doing. He even at one point he said, "This has got to be a PC player that I'm playing against." And lo and behold, no, it's Nick Merckx, another one of the best controller players we've ever seen. And whether he's losing to Aiden in these engagements or not, the fact that they're fighting for that long, they're disengaging and re-engaging those choices. I think that establishes that win or lose in that 1v1. He's putting on a good show.
Yep.
He's very aware of what's going on. I mean, there's going to be an outplay from him soon, I guarantee it.
I think that kind of sums up Tilted perfectly, right? Like, there's so much already established building there that they're just navigating in and out of these corridors, using sound to their advantage, making sure they can kind of catch their opponents off guard, hide behind a wall, third-person perspective. Either way, it shows just how much these guys land there. They've been the big talk of the town so far. Nick Merckx giving fist bumps to everyone around him. Definitely someone who likes to promote so much positivity in the community, which is great to see. The other big names here so far today, right now in that 4th spot we saw in the standings was actually Liquid Poach. He's the highest in the standings right now who don't have a victory royale. Who doesn't have a victory royale? So the 3 above him all have actually won a game. Landjock, who is our other player who's won, is lower on the standings. But Poach showing just how quality of a player he is, Lupo, to be that high up without having a victory yet.
Now, I'm looking forward to see players that dropped like 10+ eliminations in a single game. Animal Tylers, I want to see them show up and play that aggressive gameplay that they've played in the past. There's a chance that maybe right now we've been through 4 games, and maybe before this they were playing a little timid in comparison to what they had done during the qualifiers. It could be the pressure. All these people watching and the number of players that are around them that are extremely competitive. Speaking of competitive players around them, the drop is coming soon, Courage. Are you ready for Game 5?
We go. Quick little break, a little reset. We've added another game. We've seen all sorts of stuff. Game 5 is here. The bus has taken off. Remember, each victory royale, $25,000 in the bank in prize money. Let's get into the action.
Southwest to the far east, going to fly past Lonely Lodge there. You'll see a couple of the Liquid players, pretty well known for going Wailing Woods. They'll wait till a late drop. You've got in your bottom right there Nate Hill from FaZe flying in. He's looking towards Fatal Fields. But pretty much everybody, like we've seen, consistent spread. Not a whole lot of engagements. Not a whole lot. There's no more than like 5 or 6 players in a single location. Even less than that, typically. Retail has a handful there. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like at Tilted. 2 players laying on the south side there. This is back over the Fatal Field to see. Running around. Nate's going to try and get this. This is an outside of Fatal drop. Full shield, a good pickup early. He's got an AR, some bandages. Nothing. I was literally about to say nothing up close. Picks up an SMG. A decent kit early. You'd want to look for a shotgun, but I'd like to point out, Jack, that the anti-grav shield, the bubble is there visually, but just so everybody's aware, the effect itself has been disabled, like we said. So don't worry about the fact that you can see the bubble. Again, it's not engaged right now.
Now I just want to go home and fly around the map.
I do. turn that into a thing.
Either way, here's Ranger, who's got a tactical shotgun and a rocket launcher. Interesting loadout off the break. I think he realizes that as well. When you have the rockets, it's so key to get that high ground established right away. Rockets so much more lethal when you can obviously shoot down onto your opponent with them. This is Saint, who continually lands near this Greasy Grove area. From my experience in previous summer skirmishes, no, he's been clingered. Remember, clingers do flat 100 damage, so thankfully the shields will save him, but he's got to try to disengage, and he only has 2 builds. This looks like it's going to be a disaster for him.
Looks like he got potentially a little distracted by looking for Nice down underneath, and Bowman took it. Yeah, it was Bowman from the backside coming up from the south, chucked that clinger. But Bowman now focuses on Nice inside the building.
And another!
Player 4 is into the match. Bowman very low here. He's tossing the remote explosives. Maybe take an opportunity to pop that med kit. You're not going to have another time to do it. Gets the mini, a faster use, so the mini is going to take priority. He wants to get any buffer he can. Tyler's in the feed, by the way, getting an elimination in there, but Bowman gets that mini use off. Crashy, the player pushing up here.
Oh, Nice with the element of Bowman. Crashy's got to follow this up quick because, I mean, look at the health he has right now. 200 HP. That was his last build. He's got a great swap combination between that heavy shotgun and the drum gun, which still has a full clip, and there's all sorts of loot down low.
Saint dropped the rocket inside through the building, explodes.
Oh.
Nice. So now this is from the outside, so Crashy may not realize if that was Saint from up top of the hill. The player inside, he knows is gone now, but he's got to try and figure out where it came from. Saint sliding down for a little bit of fall damage there. This is Aiden back in Tilted Towers. Look at his first elimination. Catches Kairos off guard, both dropping on top of the big red apartment building. Comes away with a purple AR too, which is really good pickup, but it doesn't even matter. Look, he already has a gold AR. He's going to push inside with his chest, and the hope for shield, and I think he just pulled one right there before it got away.
Interesting. This is probably the first game where Nick has actually reached max shield before Aiden. I think Aiden will catch up, though, here soon.
Ecstatic, the typical third party in the in Tilted. Here's your leaderboard for right now. Aiden with an elimination there. We get sorted by elimination count. Morgos, though, you see the score. This is your leaderboard sorted by score on the far right side. Morgos was at 8, Blind in second place is 6, Nate Hill, Aiden, Bizzle, and Saf rounding out that top 6.
Already 500 material. Such a good
med. 3 remote explosives. He's got a swap weapon and upgrades his shotgun.
And just for everyone at home, when we say swap weapon, we're talking about the submachine gun. So you can take the pump shotgun shot, and then because there's that delay before you can fire the second shot, instead you swap to a spray weapon, whether it's an SMG, a drum gun. Some people even just use an assault rifle.
That's all you have. You know, you got to take the opportunity. The reason being, during that like cooldown period after you take a shot, you see it. Swaps
off, and now he's tag right there.
The FPS knowing exactly how to utilize that timing, basically the right amount of AR spray, and then swap back to the shotgun to try and go for another shot. Shotguns hit so hard up close. In these up close fights, every single point of damage matters. If he's accurate, he's in the right amount. He's the right range away before damage drop off takes over. The timing on that can be key. It could be the difference between a one shot and maybe your opponent spraying you down while you're trying to get the shotgun shot off.
The FPS is, instead of building himself, he's just going to reset to the high ground. And he's dodging these clingers, so it looks like he's kind of read his opponent perfectly. It's Alpha Amons just inside the build and brick. And look, he's shaking his head. You can see in that camera, frustrated with the position he's in right now. Not a lot of health, very exposed, and the FPS is maxed on HP. And he's going to match the build right now. I think the end might be near for Alpha here soon.
Alpha pushing up against the top down on, trying to get the jump shotgun shot. FPS kind of layering away. He's got multiple layers there, basically right at the perfect spot to lay a floor, back up a step, lay another floor. So there's multiple wood platforms between Alpha and Amon's deciding to go for it. He's trying to get the top down. He's got to hit big shots here. It's 100 HP, 100 shield on his opponent below him.
It's almost to a point where like Alpha has to hit like a snipe headshot or something. A ridiculous scenario he finds himself in. The FPS just rotating all around, bouncing. Looking for that perfect... It's also a thing where if you're the FPS, if you're wondering why he's kind of playing this slow, yes, he doesn't have the high ground, but he almost doesn't want to take any damage either. Right? He knows he's got a heavy advantage, but he's looking to just get that perfect opportunity. Now might be his chance. It might just be time to spray this player down, shoot that top left structure, and it might all fall.
He's got it looks like there's 2 connected points. If he goes for it, which is exactly what he's going to do, he's got that the arch, the half arch is all that's holding it up, and here it comes. Alpha's got to drop down and save himself with a build. Lands on top of the building, just barely got down fast enough to not take any fall damage, but he's still basically one shot at this point. One pump shot is going to be all it takes. Bush catches him in the corner, and there it is. First elimination for the FPS. An excellent set of plays there. Choosing just the right time to push.
Here's another side of the map. Gripmate. Not much useful weaponry in his inventory. What?
An 82.
I take back everything I've ever said.
Catches Landjock, our first winner off guard there, Takata. Right here in shifty shafts, jumping around trying to get the top down on his opponent, drops in and a big hit, 2 HP left for crashing. He does have a med kit and minis, so he's still, you know, give him 20 seconds. He's back to 150.
No, Fade went to drop the porta-fort and it actually spawned above him, so he wasn't safe. It's so key when using those porta-forts, especially on uneven ground, that you jump as you activate it, so you land above the layer of the porta-fort. Here's Aiden at only at 100 HP. Seems like he's been tagged up quite a little bit. Who's nearby? Nibs is nearby. Marksman's nearby. Ecstatic is here. No idea if Nick Merckx is still in this game or not. We'll have to get you guys an update on that.
Looked like he might have still been inside the big gray tower that he tends to. If it's anybody in there, it's going to be Nick. But once we can see that, we'll let you know. But this might be the busiest Tilted we've seen in quite a while. And this is the first time I think we've seen Aiden decided to back out. Maybe too many people. His loadout, though, no shield, not a whole lot of materials, but a gold AR, a gold heavy shotgun.
Yep.
Train here. Wonder if he's going to try and hit a big deagle shot on this. The purple hand cannon. Top boy dropping down. Looks like he got an elimination on blue tee in the feed there.
He's got a revolver, as you know, from the most recent developer update. That'll soon be vaulted here in Fortnite. So, pay a little homage to our soon-to-be lost friend. Chris is just going to run away from that fight. What is this end? What is this zone? What is this zone? Literally half of it is out of play. And that's a mountain right there too, Lupo. That's one of the tallest mountains in the game, right above Flush Factory.
You see somebody hanging out way north, way outside the zone.
Nick is still alive.
Nick is still alive.
0 limbs yet, just playing very passively. Nibs is running out. Everyone's fanning on out of here.
Nick's towers. Make the MFM proud, Nick. He's got to try and he just kind of needs to buy his time. He's got 55 seconds. He doesn't necessarily have to rotate just yet, and he knows. Look, Ecstatic doing it literally what we saw him do last match for just a second there. We cut to him, and he wasn't even moving, just standing still, trying to listen, wait for these players to kind of engage each other. He doesn't want to get involved in any of this. Leaderboard being high on his list of things to go after, so I don't blame him in the slightest. Nick deciding he heard some shots. Might be time. Gonna drop some grenades in there, hoping for a single or a double. Ecstatic goes down. We still have 2 players in there. X's looks like he eliminated Ecstatic. Grenades don't catch any damage. Looking for maybe even just a damage number. Even if you're not on top of it, you'll see the number pop up when you get a hit with it.
He's gonna have to make a decision soon. I was about to say he's either got to move or he's got to push this, and I think he's gonna do the latter. Here he goes. Nick Merckx now moving on in. Here's a ton of shots going down, expecting players to be weak. He wants to play this high ground. Sees one inside. Can't get a tag on the player. One off to his right at double L's as well. Nick obviously doesn't know exactly where Exis is with that little HP. There's a 3rd player as well down here too. I think this is Envy Gorilla, I believe at least.
It's a shotgun shot off on him. Looks like it was still shield damage. He's going to know that his opponent still has some sort of defense there.
He has the weaponry for this. Between the drum gun, the blue pump shotgun, the rare pump shotgun, but he's going to go ahead and fall back for now.
He just ran out of explode ammo too, so he's got nothing left in that grenade launcher. Maybe 3 or 4 more explode ammo. He could have just kept dropping them in there, kind of expose.
And I can tell you, Nick isn't happy to be leaving Tilted at 0 limbs. This is the first game where him and Aiden, I think, both leave Tilted without a single elimination.
Giamanca phase out here, trying to rotate. Looks like southeast. He's going up the ramp. This ramp already built, so he doesn't have to waste a whole lot of materials. It's a good option to, especially in competitive games like this. You don't want to burn through a ton of resources. You're gonna in the future, if you plan on going for late game, you're gonna get caught up close next to somebody and have to most likely take advantage of turbo build. Try and keep a layered defense between you and your opponent. You need all the materials you can get. Look at Cease here. 650 wood, 770 brick, 140 metal. He's sitting on a ton of materials.
And he's actually in a little build engagement with Morgoth, who, if you remember, is our first place player up to this point. Quick update on the actual eliminations this game. Animal, who's one of the 2 players this week with a 10+ elim game for the victory, actually has 4 elims so far, and still a ton of players left.
A handful of players still alive, too. We have Top Boy, Gorilla, Morgas, Rio, Struggs, Tokata, and Tylers, who are all sitting at 2 eliminations apiece, which means one more for each one of them is a point for this game. And every single point counts. It could be the difference between you know, the 21st through 100 placement prize of 5,000. You got to remember, everybody comes away with 5,000 if they made it to the grand finals, which is huge. But a single point can push you up in the top 20, and that could be massive. A lasering Takata establishes his,
Animal, who actually got that elim. That's now 5 for him. 2-point game for Animal.
Ribs, Saf gets the FPS and the feed there.
Ooh, it's Nick Merckx out of the zone.
Literally immediately clapping here at PAX for Nick. Mars City's eliminated by the storm there in the feed, you see. It's kind of a stalemate here at the edge of the circle. Movement's going to have to happen before too long, and both of these players are established in their little box. They have a minute 20. You have plenty of time to make a decision. Nick could drop his campfire too. This is Tyler's and Triz back in the bottom floor, tilted, hanging outside the zone, trying to just peek for that quick shot, and he gets Triz through the top window of that door.
He was so far into the zone still. Over to Rio now, spraying that LMG, swapping the Scar, and whoa. Gets the 1 bullet to connect. That's all he needed. Knew he was weak.
And that's 3 eliminations for Rio, which gives him a point for this game.
And Asteria is still in this. And I can tell you, Asteria landing greasy. He's been very happy to see the zone since we swapped off Nick. He got tagged him. Look at Eman. Back-to-back limbs, but then Aiden actually cuts him down. So Aiden and Nick each now with a limb on the board.
Aiden actually has 2 right now. He's 1 away from picking up another point for the day. That'd be Aiden's 4th point. Rex is hanging out in his own. There's a little box over there. The clingers. See the
Those are
clingers
whips.
flying over the top of Nick.
No help from his AR right there, not getting any connects. Gosh, I can tell you right now, Nick wishes he had some explodes left from his time in Tilted to be able to use. And that's a brilliant wall. That wall's going to block out the sight line of the player in that build just next to him, so you can put some pop shots down to this player who's trying to run away from the zone. Nick will have to move forward, and that's when this is going to get absolutely awkward for him. Expect the player up top to probably prioritize Nick here.
Got a couple of trees as natural cover, some structure that was built by somebody else, but I think he just saw it. Looks like there was like a window peak to a southwest 240 up there. Somebody might have edited a hole out and try and take shots at him as he's rotating, and he covered himself.
This zone is absurd.
It is. This is it. What would you say? Like 40% of it is over the water right now. This is Aiden's second elimination. Right on the coast right here. Caps as a player. It's Emad. We watched that just a second ago. We commented on Emad establishing a double there on
so that was Emad who got a double, but then he eliminated Emad, meaning 3 players worth of loot was there. So now he's added a ton of materials, shields, and a legendary compact SMG to his inventory.
I don't think Aiden picks it up unless it's legendary at this point.
Apparently.
That kid is insane.
It's like everything that gets dropped in front of him upgrades out of the person's inventory.
Multiple players underneath and making quite a bit of noise.
Just eliminated his teammate Brandon.
Tempo going for a fast out of the side window there.
Aiden with another elimination. I believe that will put him at 3, right? Making him another game with another point. He's been so consistent with that so far today.
Kayun just got an elimination in the feed, but Top Boy takes him out. We have players countering players, and this is all very much on the coast. Imagine somebody sliding down to try and be on the outside edge. We'll see, depending on this next circle. There's going to be time to move relatively soon. We got 5 seconds before this finishes. Flush Factory still has a ton. The top of the hill, like you said, one of the tallest hills in the game. There's going to be a lot of players at the top down, and here we go. Flush Factory has to move out. North side has to move out. All these players are looking at right now. It's time to move.
Here are those clingers. Way earlier on. That was Crunch who got the pitch on the sap. But this next zone, half of it is on one of the tallest mountains in the game. The other is on one of the lowest valleys. So high ground going to be everything here. Here comes a nice little build engagement. Cease dropping down the remote explosive, but gets shot in the back. He tunnel visions on replays and pays the ultimate price.
C4 is still sitting up top, so you got to be careful that nobody else maybe notices that and shoots it if you're moving over the top of it. But Aiden here, very top corner, top of the map, edge of the map. He's looking for an edit down on his opponent.
He knows that this player has the double barrel. It's got a unique sound effect, which is so key to listen out for. Bolt Naga also has the Rift to go in his inventory. Maybe in a panic position. He could use that to actually, he might use that here to get the high ground on the top part of the mountain.
We'll put him basically all the way up there.
They have to move in 30 seconds.
There you go, Bolt hiding underneath is the player we were just talking about. Aiden's going to keep watching for him and listening while engaging other players. This is basically taking 2 fights at once, and I think the idea is maybe you can pull an elim from at least one of them while somebody's rotating. Everybody's in front of him or underneath him at this point.
Yep.
So he knows he's not going to get caught off guard from the back. He's not going to get caught tunnel visioning from any of them. But the top of that hill, Courage, they have vision on literally everything.
This is Cease from earlier on. Saw it. Brandon building on up and whiffs the hunting rifle shot, but thankfully for him, Brandon gets quickly cut down, and then I think there was a second player here.
I believe that's Morgoss hiding underneath him. Earlier when to take the shot. Also, the same hunting rifle shot, just barely missing again. One of those is going to pay out, but he clips Morgoss on the rotation. Just over the build, too.
Here's Asteria, 0 elims so far. Nick Merckx just eliminated Tempo.
That puts Nick Merckx at 4 elims. That's at least 1 point. He needs one more elim to put him at 5. Asteria lasers down Aiden.
And look, Aiden got a little scared by that. Nick now at 4 elims. Has a point on the board. Nick's got a ton of family here this weekend. It's funny, keeping an eye on his dad every time Nick gets in a fight. I got eyes on him. And he's listening to Neo, actually, someone who, you know, from Nick's streams. They game a lot together. Neo's telling him every little bit that's going on, making sure he knows exactly where he stands. He got blessed by this next zone, too.
Nick, though, only 49 woods. He's got 4 builds total. It's a Cease from earlier who was just putting on an excellent show. But Nate Hill, look at this, hiding in the shadows up here and takes shots at Cease. The tunnel vision kind of caught Cease off guard there. Nate Hill took advantage of it. I think Merckx, like I said, 4 limbs, 3 builds left right now.
He can stay hidden here for so long, though.
I mean, he's inside the safe zone.
Yep, like he's like a ghost. people are just not even going to think of him being down here.
Hiding the shadow, too. Players that even rotate past might not see him hiding. He's
Yep.
got... This is actually, it's an excellent spot for him to be in. Bizzle on the rotation. See player. This might be the most spread we've seen the field for in quite a while.
I think a lot of it's the verticality
left.
of the mountain. Look at how awkward this is, trying to build on up. I love this camera shot right here. Great stuff production.
Sean was catching Carosa on the rotation up the stairs off
Yep.
guard. He's hiding in like a little side chamber there. Time for Bizzle from Ghost Gaming to move up as well. A lot of these players, they're going to decide when to rotate, and it looks like more players are going earlier than we've seen in the past. Oftentimes we see a lot of players deciding to wait till the last second, but it's because, like you said, the verticality is deciding that right now you need to move, because you not only do you have to build forward, you got to build up.
Unfortunately, you can't use your pickaxe to break down the entire mountain, so players have to move early. Ghost Bizzle doing just that, moving towards the zone. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it into the zone and immediately just boxes on up. Yep, there you go. He's trying to make it close enough. Needs to get right around this corner, and now he's good. Time to box. Oh, he does take a heavy amount of damage, though, before he's able to get the wall down.
You start building those chambers out. Shots are coming out, though. Somebody's trying to challenge this little set of boxes he's building. He's still getting shot from the side.
And the reason they're even spraying him even more is his build auto-switched from brick to metal, which is a sign that he's out of brick, which makes you think if he's having to use metal now, he's probably very low on materials. Tfue still in this game as well, alongside Geomach.
Replays and Sinful caught at the bottom. This is going to be a fight to stay ahead of the storm and ahead of their opponent.
I feel like both of them are going to get eliminated right here.
So Nick Merckx sitting for them, maybe looking for his fifth right now, listening. He doesn't have any builds left, so he's chasing. He's going to spray the wall down and catch his Rex inside his own box. That's 2 points for Nick Merckx. Top 20 left. He makes it to top 10. That's another point soon. He does have, and he's got a med kit.
That was a smart play from Nick. He goes to pick up the opponent's grenade launcher. He had 0 ammo in his grenade launcher, but Nick was hoping that if he picked up the other grenade launcher there, that there might have been some ammo still left in the clip. Unfortunately for him, there was none, but a sign of a smart player. As, oh my goodness, Hysteria, if he gets sneezed on right now, I think he's eliminated from this one. I think if Nick flexes his traps, Hysteria's character would get eliminated here.
Bizzle moving up, trying to get an advanced spot up this hill. He doesn't want to get caught off guard outside the zone. You see he's already rotating towards the east side of the circle. He saw the fact that, yeah, that's the side he's going to have to go to. The next circle, it's a full movement. Everybody's got to relocate. You got to get ahead of the zone if you want to move and stay alive.
So like every time he pushes out and makes another one of those like little 1x1s, he's burning through 60 material, and he's only got 200 something left. So that's all going away quick. Struggs, someone we saw earlier on. We got an interview with him after he had a big performance earlier in the week. Here comes the zone move. Rio launch pads up to the high ground. Nick Merckx having to go bounce pad time as he's going to try to keep up with the zone. Oh, he's going all the way to the low ground with barely any builds left.
Nick's on 6 eliminations right now, by the way. One more would put him at 7. That's 3 points. He's got 2 points already from this game.
Rio in the fight. Sean trades out that a limb. You see Struggs now down. Nate Hill still in this one as well. Nick Merckx with another elimination on Base Soldier. I think that puts Nick at 7 eliminations. 3-point game for Nick Merckx, as this is going to move him way up the scoreboard now. Another elimination from Nick. That's Tfue down. A statement game from Nick Merckx, and he's got medkits to use. Nick Merckx can win this game.
Kevy's super low HP. You've got a whole ton of players above him, and he's sitting pretty down at the bottom. He might have the ability to rotate along the edge of the storm. You see where the location on the minimap, it's going to carry all the way along the base, and he catches somebody on the way down. He's trying to go for materials. Elim number 9.
He needs these materials.
Every elimination from here on out is icing on the cake. He's going to push for.
He's got a little bit.
He's got 7 builds left.
Player's just inside. He doesn't realize he's to his left. Nick can only build 7 walls. He's already earned himself 4 points this game.
He's got to save those for moving up the hill. He can't waste too much of them right here. Luckily, he's got a little bit of defense here. Somebody already built wood. He's got to move up, though. He can't stay down on the bottom because he's about to be outside the zone. Now's the time, Nick. You got to move.
Oh, no.
Get inside. Get inside. Here we go.
He's in.
Solid play. Excellent job staying inside, but he's got players all over.
No! Nick Merckx slides down the mountain. No builds left. It's over.
5 players left alive right now.
In 72 hours.
Nate Hill, Mac, Povsey. Top 5 situation.
Nate Hill already in a brilliant position. Spot 72 hours. That's a free elim, which gives him another point. Remember, if he makes it to the top 3, he earns another. Nate Hill, who is already in our top 5, might be making a move up the leaderboards, folks. 4 players left. He's got no builds, so he's got to use whatever he can for cover. Look at the height difference Mac is done. That's top 3. Another point earned for our remaining players. Povesey's got no builds left, so he's going to get dropped on down.
He's got a player right underneath him. Bolt all the way up top. Looking down Nate Hill. This 1v1 situation. Nate Hill still left alive, and Bolt's got the top down on everybody. He might even have an opportunity. He's layering up. He's going for a heal off.
He can't drop, though. He might be able to fall down to that next level, but if Nate's able to heal on up a little bit, I'm not sure exactly what Nate has. He can maybe shoot him down.
Right now is the perfect time for him to just hang out up top. He's at 95, which means he can start the med kit before the zone closes all the way. He doesn't have to push for the elimination on Nate.
There's 5 seconds left. Nate's going to have to try to spray down whatever he can. Bolt Naga can build out one more structure. He's got 0 elims this game. He's been playing for the Victory Royale. He's got a med kit he can heal with.
You see he's about to position himself on the line to seam between the two.
Nate's got to keep spraying. Nate has to keep spraying. He cannot let this go to a heal off. He knows it as well. He's got to keep spraying. Nate, the game potentially slipping out of his hands. He needs to keep spraying the structure above. Nope, he's not going to be able to out-heal him. This one's done. He's not going to be able to out-heal. He does not have a med kit. This should be a heal-off in favor of Bolt Naga. It's going to come down to the wire. Nate spraying, doing whatever he can, but it's not enough.
0 eliminations, by the way. But the Victory Royale at $25,000 richer.
God,
because
that's some good YouTube clickbait.
He plays smarter than anybody else. Waited till the very last second and got the heal off. See Nate a little disappointed in the fact that he got caught off guard. No builds left underneath. He had to just try and spray down, and even the little amount of metal that he had left was enough for Bolt to secure just the platform he was standing on and get himself a Victory
That's
Royale.
the name of the game right there, though. Yeah. It's a BR. Victory Royale is something everyone wants to achieve. That's 3 points. 0 limbs, it does not matter. He outlasted everyone in the lobby. Congratulations to him. You know, Nate's, I think, his window of opportunity, and it was awkward because the metal was just starting to build as he was trying to heal from that last fight. But once that metal finishes, from that range too with the damage fall, I mean, it takes so much to break through that structure.
Now, that, I believe, is Nate's second place on the day so far in these grand finals. But we should still feel good about it. I believe it's 7 points total for him, which, if my calculations are correct, is second place, which is insanity. And he still has 2 games left. We got game 6 and the surprise game 7 coming at you right after that.
I think we got some replays to look at as we get ready for the next lobby to start on up. Nick Merckx, big game from him. Got the 7 elims he needed. I believe he finished with 8.
He did indeed, and that's 3 points. Didn't make it, I believe, to actually, he did get top 10, so 4 points total from this game.
Yep.
See, the perfect time, catches Lene pushing up the ramp. So many different angles that players can be hiding in. Tracks one all the way down to the bottom, literally sitting on Poach as he tries to box Nick Merckx out, and it was not fast enough.
And this was the big moment for Nick to get him to a 2-point game. You push forward, drum gun in hand, you spray down the wall. And look at, from Nick's perspective, how low he was down on the ground. It's a good job. Base Soldier wasn't focused on him. Nick gets a free elim there in the final moments. No builds left. He knew it was done. He knew it was over, but he's got to be proud of that performance either way. Make it into the top 10 with 8 elims. That's the game Nick needed. 1 pop-off performance. Could be the difference in a $1.5 million tournament between $5 grand and maybe 25 grand. We'll see.
That's quite a bit of money, Jack.
It is quite a bit of money. Also from Ghost, we've talked so much about how great the organization is doing this weekend. Bizzle had some great performances in this game. Obviously, game 5, still 2 more games to go.
I love seeing these cross sections from the side. You see all the layers coming out as these players progress across, and Bizzle is one that knows exactly the right time to take an advantage shot at somebody.
So I talked about all the great performances.
Did you just cast or curse a replay?
I did.
Courage?
I somehow figured out a way to cast or curse a replay.
You're hitting people with cards. Wow.
I'm never going to be hired back. It's okay. No, I'm just kidding. Please hire me back. Nate Hill from FaZe Clan, their new pickup. He was the first in line for the qualifier heats back all the way on day 1, and now here playing on Sunday, or Monday, sorry.
Hiding from the shadows, the shots on Cease.
He had no mats for all this.
I think that situation, multiple opportunities here. He caught players in bad positions, but playing with no materials, like you said, he's a player that he'll use everything that he has or everything that he doesn't have.
See this moment right here?
Everything that he can.
It's
right
just,
there. Yeah, I think the option at this point was just to continue spraying. Granted, it's metal. It's going to take quite a while.
He had to reload. Look, so he took 3 extra ticks just to reload. I'm pretty sure if he doesn't try to heal and just reloads his drum gun and just sprays, he's at least got a better chance than that. Because obviously he knew at the end it was all over. Didn't have the med kit to out heal. Either way, what a day we've had so far. Fun from start to finish. The final day of PAX West. My first ever PAX, and I don't know how it'll be topped, but we actually, the player who won that last game without a single limb, Volt Naga Ops, on the floor with Zeke.
What's up, guys? Great cast as always. I am joined by Naga Ops. Come on over, my friend. So you win a game, 3 points for the Victory Royale, and you take it to a heal off against the likes of Nate Hill. You just won $25,000, dude. What are you feeling?
I was feeling really nervous and anxious, but I guess I'm pretty happy that I get some money in my pocket. But overall, I'm pretty confident and happy about that game.
So now, what was your early to mid game look like?
Early game, I dropped the villain lair, and I just sat in a box and farmed up all game, and then eventually I got circle, and I just played the high ground all game.
Now, so obviously toward the end of the game, you were sneaky snaking your way around, being super stealthy. Is that what you like to do, or you think you're going to change it up in these next games? Because you got 3 points now, right?
I like to be more aggressive. I think that playing more passive inside these type of games is probably the wisest play, but I feel like if you want to have fun and you actually want to get inside the heat, you can play like Nate Hill and play low ground warrior and just go shocking everybody.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you in the next few games. You got that extra one as well. Back to you guys on the desk.
$25,000 richer for that Victory Royale, and he got 0 limbs, but hey, it's the way of the game.
I literally see the YouTube video title already. $25,000 no elimination challenge completed.
I'm going to upload that to my channel. It's not even
going to be you playing, but you might as well put it up.
5 mid-rolls on it and have a blast. Ninja will be in the title too, but let's go ahead and get on over to our standings up to this point. There it is. Morgoth still in that top spot, but Nate Hill inching on up. But the big move coming on in, which there it is, 8th spot, Nick Merckx moving on up, earning himself that's a pretty good payday up to this point if he can hold that position.
Now keep in mind, like we saw Bolt, the winner from last game, only 5 eliminations on the day, but he's in 7th place right now based on the fact that he has more Victory Royales than Nick. They have the same, they all have the same point total all the way down, 3 places past that too, but he got the victory. You have to remember, a no elimination victory he still made it through a field of 98 incredibly good players. It's nothing to gawk at that. Obviously he knew exactly what to do and he made the right plays.
And here we go to the prizing now. Remember, top 20 begin to earn that extra amount of cash. Hysteria right now the odd man out on the 21st spot, but 21st to 100 still earn 5K, so everyone's a winner here, but 225K.
That's quite a bit more.
Sounds a little bit better in that first place position.
Keep in mind too, in addition to what you see on your screen right there, Victory Royale is worth $25,000. We've had 5 of those already, and Game 6 is not too far away, Jack. You see the players getting ready. Everyone's getting their hardware squared away, getting loaded into the game, and prepping for this. We have it's go time. It's go time, Jack.
It's time for match 6. Typically, this would be the end of today, but you know what? We've added a 7th game, as we mentioned earlier. Let's get into the action. The battle bus has taken on off. Our players are ready. Ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, are you ready for Game 6? You'll love to hear it. The energy has been incredible as we continue on through.
Here we go. Players dropping out already. Everybody looking for their landing zone. Junk Junction, an immediate drop point. Somebody's flying way out over the wall. They're about to cut back for a junk landing potentially. You see a lot of players. People typically avoiding places like Loot Lake. Like I said, fighting the water is not something that a lot of these players want to do. It requires additional materials to build the floor layers up. They can get knocked down pretty easily because you don't often you don't root them too much. So you'll see that relatively sparse, but every competitive match so far has had an even spread. And the reason being there, not everybody goes for the hot drops. People know that slow play. You see Tyler's already getting an elimination on Silva with an SMG in the feed. Slow play for something like this. Oh, the C4 play. An early C4 elimination would be rough. No builds from the player that he's up against here, and only one C4 left. It means no elim, and Morgas pays the price. At that point, you land, you get C4 only, and you don't get a tag with it. He should have rotated away. Had no materials, nothing to fight against it.
He hit him once, and the remote explosive does a flat 70 damage. And that's exactly what he hit him for. Tried to get that second to connect, unfortunately just couldn't. Bowman with this early elim inside Greasy Grove has claimed the doghouse. Tempo and Hysteria here as well. That is the exact house that I land at. When Hysteria and I play duos, I'll land at that house and he'll land at Durburger. So looks like he's taking my spot as Tempo has claimed the Durburger for himself.
Trouble was Fulmer taking out C9 Blind, a player we had our eyes on quite a bit. Down early, and look.
The only two players in Tilted.
What is this, round 4, round 5? Nick's Towers.
Still says Nick's Towers production. I don't know.
Nick Merckx. After last game, man, I've got to give it to him. He put on a good show. 8 eliminations in the previous match. I think it was an attempt to say, yeah, Aiden, I can do that too. Let's go again. And they're both here. It looked like almost nobody else was in Tilted, so this might be a true 1v1 in Tilted.
Man, that is so fun. That is just awesome. Remember, we are in our 6th game. It can't be stressed enough. We will be playing 7 today after Game 4's shenanigans. As we continue to see exactly how this will play on out. Jay Cuddy.
7th game cut. You look at it kind of like a bonus game, and with that bonus game comes still the $25,000 for a victory royale in that. Just as much as every other match. Now here we go, the start of the engagement. Aiden sitting on a 138 right now. He does have a slurp. I was gonna say I expect him to use it. He almost getting max value out of it. The feed Flower getting an elimination on Jumpman, but Nick Merckx, both of them basically the same HP, same shield right now. You have to remember that slurp is slowly ticking, which means Aiden's gonna end up at max HP and shield here in just a second. Nick Merckx gonna be at a 50 shield deficit. These players hit their shots, Jack, especially with the loadout that Nick has. You're going to see that pump shotgun, an immediate swap to the blue drum.
And Nick knows exactly where he is in the build, and he's going to stop and just listen. Tags for 20-something. Aiden should still have the HP advantage, and there's the trap. Can't hit the second pump shot, but gets tagged from down low. The remote explosives, though, and Aiden! Aiden again! It's Aiden's Towers now.
It might be time for Nick to choose a different drop location. Oh my gosh. It does make me curious.
Every game that Nick has been able to avoid Aiden, he popped off. But unfortunately for him, Aiden this time goes right back out of it. You see Nick is like, it's like a mental block for him. He just can't get past Aiden.
And knowing Nick Merckx, I mean, we've played with him a number of times. He's going to go back there next match. He's got it. He's one of the most competitive people I've ever met.
It's almost
the point where he says, I don't even care about winning. You know what?
It's an ego check.
I need to take Tilted back.
The M-Fam right now wishing they could spawn into the game with Nick and swarm Aiden with pickaxes, but that's not the case. Prodigy Aces just on the outskirts of Salty Springs as Tempo Sicarios. It's just bouncing around near the cliff house.
Feed ecstatic. Someone we saw dropping Tilted as well, kind of avoided it going down the feed. Now Crashy, a guest caster during day 2, now establishing inside these grand finals. He made his way through, getting an elimination there of his own. Farigo, somebody we saw incredibly fast builds from earlier, only sitting on 68 HP. He's got some remote explosive. He's going to try and use it. Tosses it over the top, and he's going to take the opportunity to push up, catching himself on a build. Almost fell the drop down a second time, still catching himself. He's trying to get a top-down view of his opponent here. Traps him inside. The edit, the fast edit, the shotgun. You hear the trap go out. Dodges the trap damage, making it away, getting the elimination.
There's so much going through in the thought process right there. So he's trying to edit. The second you hear the trap go down, you have about half a second to react and get to the opposite side of that build to dodge the trap. He does just that, also finishes the elim. As we swap over to Tempo, he just secured his first elim of the game. On the Triz, and Bowman is close.
2.5 minutes as the zone is closing in. We have a player or two still very far away. Looks like Snobby and Haunted have a handful still out there, and they're the furthest away. Make moves early, get ahead of the game. They're not going to have a ton of materials, but they'll still be able to make it in the safe zone without taking too much damage, especially if they have like a launch pad, rift to go, something like that. You have to use those. We'll see here. Landjock, one of our earlier winners. That power cord skin. You could hear him. He heard the shield being used, so he decided that was the time to push, but his opponent got the wall block in place in time.
He's backing on up. Backing on up. Expect Fuzzy to use these minis to get as much HP as possible. So keep the high ground on Landjock. Brilliant pyramid block as well. And with the double barrel, you'd think at some point he's going to go for it, and I think this is exactly it, right? Just make the call to push on in, get close range. Maybe break that down, take command, and yeah, there's the build. Can't get the engagement victory as of yet.
Kind of the head shake there. Oh, and Landjock catches him off guard. Right as he was going for the edit, Landjock was inside and said, okay, you're going to try and open this door. I'm going to open this side. I'm going to back on you. I'm going to rotate out and get a different angle and catch you off guard, and it worked.
Looks like Aiden's got another challenger in his towers. He's going to keep on rotating, but no, here's shots behind him, and this is typical Aiden. Wants to push towards it, gets aggressive, going for the high ground. And the new building, because of all the pallets inside that new building, it lets you leave tilted with max materials. That used to never be the case.
He's sitting on a ton there. This loadout is incredible for mid game too, even mid to late game. He has, I mean, honestly, a ton of ammunition. 200 rounds is quite a bit. Here, the middle of Loot Lake. We haven't seen too many fights happen here. Players kind of avoiding it, but Lassius has landed up top. He's getting sprayed down. Has to catch himself on the way down, and he does so successfully. A very well-timed jump.
Spraying with that SMG. Look at his ammo count, though. Once he reloads this, basically has a clip and a half left. Ranger just disengaging for the moment, I believe.
Time to use one of those bounce pads. He's going to try and little trick there. He's got to be coming up from the ramp. It can't be at that. Oh, there we go.
Little 45-degree angle. He got it.
Those kind of techniques, the reason people do that, Jack, the bounce, the extra lift from the bounce pad, when you land on the launch pad, it almost doubles the height that you fly off the launch pad, makes it so you can get much further inside a zone. There's a couple different ways that people build the structures. There's one with bouncing off the bounce pad into an arch, knocks you down into the launch pad. That one right there, even faster. You put them right next to each other and run up at an angle, the 45-degree angle into the bounce, will shoot you right onto it.
This is now Aiden versus Sap, teammates from Ghost. Beautiful pyramid block from Aiden as he's now got the high ground on Sap. Tries to pop a mini, but nearly falls off that. He drops right down, resets. That's not his structure. She'll have to place a floor. Just like that, he's set for the moment. Or maybe not. Uh-oh, he's lost the build. He lost the wall. Look at how fast he edits on controller, man. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah, actually,
no, he's still trapped, so he's gonna go for it. There's a quick edit.
85.
The spray! Aiden takes down Sap. And he looked to smile. He knows we're keeping an eye on him, man.
I want to point out in the middle of that, you notice he had a window was edited right smack dab in the center of the wall he was facing, and he used the pyramid inside the structure he was on to line of sight, kind of crouch behind it like it's a mini hill. That kind of awareness of the surfaces around you is incredible.
He said, I just received word from production that he looked at the camera and said, I'm sorry, I love you. Speaking about his teammate there.
Matt trying to wall off here. Ooh, big shot through. That double barrel catches Snoop. Look at the look at his face, too. Wow.
With all the shields and the slurp that's there, he should actually get the full.
Very cool. Surprisingly, he's leaving a side open. He must know for sure nobody else is rotating in from that side. If he were anywhere else on the map, that'd be a tough one. But look at his circle. It's going to start pushing not a ton of players in. A lot of people are already positioned, which means not a ton of gatekeeping, but you do still have some fights going on the outside.
Yeah, a lot of people already inside.
As the day has gone on, we've seen more and more players taking the option to move early, because early games, we had a lot of people waiting until the last second just because of the rotation of the storm and when it started to move. It seems like preparedness is higher on people's list.
So he's fine right here, and he's got a med kit, so he can literally gatekeep the zone, but from like the opposite side. He's more than happy to just sit in this right now and play for this limb just below him. There's 2 players here. I actually love this decision from Aircool. Yeah, these players have no choice.
And Jock taking Bizzle out. A snipe 44 meters. You heard the shotgun blast inside, which means these 2 underneath. Aircool did run into each other, but no elimination yet. There's still 2 people there. He saw his opportunity to get at least one of them back. Goes down to see the shots from above. Aircool trying to be the 4th player, the 5th player here. Depending on how you look at it, the Storm's still taking damage on these players too. 10 into the feed, getting in another elimination. And he's deciding to use the med kit right now.
He's investing everything. He's investing everything into getting this elim right now. Oh, that player, I think tried to bounce. I think that player tried to launch pad, but had the traps out instead, and they just lost to the Storm. He's been here the whole time. Yeah, he'll loot whatever materials and stuff he can get, but unfortunately, no elim to show for it. Here's Prodigy Aces in a little engagement versus Saint, and that's why the swap weapon is so key. Swaps to the full spray assault rifle and gets the elim there. Oh, waits. Third parties that fight with the AR shots from range.
Now, currently, in terms of players in this match, J-Omoc's the only one with 3 eliminations that does get him 1 point. It's 3 total on the day. Landjock and Vide are both sitting on 2, 1 elimination away from a single point. We do have 50 players. Half the field is still alive, which means nobody's even remotely close to that top 10 just yet to try and secure those points. You're going to see players not necessarily waiting the last second to push them, because that if eliminations are an opportunity. It all depends on how many they have. Vide right now is sitting on 2. He needs 1 more. This is Aiden just moments ago. 2 eliminations of his own, looking to secure a 3rd and try and get another point here. The edits misses one, just barely edits through. Ooh. Does not catch Nice enough with that, but Nice gets the elimination to Aiden.
I feel like Aiden has become a crowd favorite here. Nick. It's fun. Just from his performance this week, he's literally matched the fan base and the audience of 2 of the bigger content and creators and pro player streamers out there. That's what it's all about. That's a live environment for you. Look at Landjock's materials: 949 brick, 980 metal.
You saw Landjock right now. He's running 2 shotguns. He's got a purple heavy and the purple double barrel. Kind of the thought you think is to dump the double barrel into somebody as fast as he can, and then swap. He doesn't have to reload and still has a shotgun in his hands. Sherman getting laser a little bit from the side. Does have the ability to heal against this. Maybe pop the minis and the slurp, pick those impulses up and get out of town. Emad and Gorilla are also going to end up engaging each other, so you'll have 3 players right here. There we go, the impulse. He's going to try and make a move away. He doesn't want to fight this necessarily just yet. 2 players now, Landjock and J-Moc, both with 3 eliminations, a point apiece. Vide sitting on 2. Everybody else that's still in this, 1 or less. 6 players remaining. The circle's about to move, dropping down into the woods down there, and Dusty Divot is going to be tight-knit fights. A lot of wood materials, though, if you're missing out. And there you go. You got a bunch of people already building up little bases inside, trying to any safe zone they can build right here is going to be important. Asteria, one of those players. No eliminations yet. He does have a double barrel. You've seen everybody here using them pretty much all day, pretty much all weekend.
Yes.
And you can't blame them. A lot of these fights come down to on top of each other, people running literally side by side, and you want to hit as hard as you can.
I know Wheats has an elimination. Check on here where he stacks up. I think only 1 so far. Margoss, our top scorer, out. Nate Hill still in this game. 0 elims yet. No shields, but he is still alive. The player just behind him in score, C9 Blind, is eliminated as well. So Nate has an opportunity to make a move on the leaderboards if he's able to stay alive in this one for a long time. 4
of the top 6 players in terms of points are still in this too. Landjock, Bolt, and Gorilla, as well as Nate, like you were saying. That means that kind of the first place spot is anybody's up for grabs. If any of these players take advantage of the situation, they can pass Morgoth in points very easily just from this game alone.
Everyone is sitting still. It's like they've called for a truce at the moment. Top Boy has a brilliant amount of materials as well.
It's been a minute 20 since the last elimination. It's funny you mentioned.
With 45 players left still.
Look at this circle. Look at this circle. Now's the time. Let's figure out what direction it's going to go. Everybody's kind of got that centered southeast section of it. Not a big rotation for everybody, but so many players that you're going to run into at least 1 person while you're moving.
Well, Swooji, you saw staying alive. Turkey Lips finally breaks the clock. Minute and 40+ seconds between the limbs right there. FaZe Replays is running around. Doesn't want to get a fight with the player up on the hill. There's Jay Cuddy right next door. Replays building out his little huts. Trying to stay alive. Liquid Chap still in this game with 0 limbs.
Tfue still in here as well.
Alongside 72 hours with 1 limb.
Almost looks like Replays for a moment there took his hands and off his keyboard and mouse, just saying, I don't even need to move. Joystick building up on top.
Joystick, brother of famed esports superstar Pac-Man. There's the limb right there. Wondering if he goes and picks up that double barrel.
He's got a, Lenane with almost no HP left and some Splodes coming in, trying to laser the wall down. That SMG is going to be tough. Joystick, you see here, just hide now. Fighting Simon does pick up that gold double barrel. Be almost a crime to not grab it at this point.
Right.
41 left. Barely anybody was eliminated during that storm rotation. We have 48 seconds until the next move. Feed Gorilla, one of our higher placing, one of the top 6, goes down to Dremen. Nate Hill looking to put on a good show. 2nd place right now overall. Trying to get any damage he can on anybody.
You know he's doesn't have the inventory he wants, but he's still got a gray pistol.
Oh yeah.
This late in the game. I mean, look at his inventory.
Materials aren't too bad, but no shield, only bandages left, and 95 HP.
He needs like a huge limb right now. And with 0 limbs, he's basically just had all he has is a spawn loot. There's another elimination for Wheats, putting him at 3, which will give him a point to move on up the scoreboard. Reminder, this is not our last game. Yes, it's our 6th game, but we have added a bonus game 7. So you'll want to stay tuned. This is a Dusty Divot ending.
Wheats, you just mentioned, got his third elimination. It's a good time.
Wheats.
It's a good thing he got it in time because the caster curse, my friend, gets eliminated by Tempo and goes out with a point.
Oh, someone just ripped to go.
Tempo on his 2nd elimination now. Tfue here, 35 remaining, relatively close to the zone, but look at his loadout. He's got the scope AR, he's got a drum gun, he's got a heavy shotgun, but nothing else. Those last 2 slots are empty, which means no heals. Trying to go for an edit there, kind of mistake on the first one. Gets the replacement on some of those materials. And Tfue's going to push in. This is the same structure, I believe, that the rest of these players are in right now that we're just looking at. He's going to move in. He's just trying to play defensive, trying to get inside an advanced position in the zone. And he's inside the zone now. I would expect him to almost box up on top of what he's standing right there. Very edge. He is safe here.
Wow.
He doesn't have to push. He could just wait for rotations, maybe playing for placement.
He made it so far right there without taking any damage and without any shields or healing. Every little bit of health helps.
33 left, 30 seconds until the next zone move. Tfue is very safe here. You see Nate Hill got an elimination in the feed there. That is his first of this match. Air cool underneath. The layers are starting to happen. Tfue's going to try and take some peeks. Anytime he hears shots, you see he starts to edit some holes out. He wants to take a look to see if he can spot somebody while still not playing too aggressively, not playing outside of his position. He's safe right here. He's right at the edge of the zone. And look at the wide angle shot of everybody stacked up, basically smack dab in the middle. But you have players all the way down the hill already at the bottom. Ilchase far on the outside, Crunch rotating in your bottom right. J-Mock flying in the heavy shotgun. Jay Cuddy, though, look, all the way up top. He's got a tower all to his own. He kind of has a top down. Sean probably taking the same launch pad that somebody else did. Here we go, Nate Hill. 2 elims now to his name. Ilchase gets a snipe on TT Reigns. Hey, look at him. Nate's hiding in the very bottom.
He's under the porta fort.
He's under the porta fort.
He has found a new...
He's dancing.
Look at him. He's just chilling right now. Nothing to worry about. 30 players left. Nobody will be safe for this next zone, as it will move all the way out of the current play area. Tfue's got a far, far area to run to. He still has yet to find a limb this game. His teammate faced J-Mock down low as well. Sean, how high up are you, my friend?
Still going, too. He's got a kind of a double layer tower there.
Can we get a perspective of Sean, please, just to see this high ground he currently has? Because he is building so high up. He's not even in the camera.
A ridiculous number of players left. 30 in the zone. We got the next move coming in soon. Tfue's getting shot as he rotates. 24 seconds left. Trying to wall himself in. He's starting to look pretty low on ammunition. 31 shotgun shells, 58 medium ammo to his name. Tempo gets crunched there. You see in the feed in the bottom left. 28 players, 8 seconds. Courage. It's almost go time.
It's FaZe replays, FaZe Geomock, and FaZe Tfue all in this little box area.
Only 4 of these players currently have 3 points that are still left alive, but we're going to see a number of eliminations come out here in just 1 second. Geomock is another elimination on base soldier during the rotation. Tfue and Replays literally side by side as Tfue's trying to push away. Replays might push for the elimination, having the top down advantage. Tfue falls 38 HP, almost gets caught off guard by his
still not safe.
Replays still not safe there.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tfue again gets caught in the storm. Nate Hill with another elimination. That puts him up to, I believe, 3 as well before he's eliminated.
So quickly we went from basically 26 players roughly alive to 9. Geomock, everybody that's left right now does get
a point.
1 point,
yes,
just based on placement alone. That's 5 total for Landjock. He's at 3 limbs. Yeah. Turkey Lips, 3 points total and 3 limbs right now in this match.
72 Hours is still alive as well.
Turkey Lips has a top down on everybody.
Yep, he's big chilling right now. Landjock tagged down to just 38 health, runs into the storm for a second. It's Jay Cuddy with the elim. Turkey Lips just playing this high ground. Bolt Naga Ops is still in this too. Our winner from last game, that's his first elim.
We could see our first back-to-back victory royale from any player here.
And look, he's waiting for the crate. Look at him. He's waiting for the crate. What will he get? Something good? Maybe a little present? Oh, the Chug Jug fell. He couldn't grab the Chug Jug in time.
It's okay, don't worry.
Oh, what?
So many players in one box.
What? Everyone was there. And the game's over.
It went from 6 to 1 in a second.
How do I even cast that? It went from 6 to 1 instantly.
They're even looking around to try and figure out what placement they landed. The shift in player count happened so fast.
72 hours.
I can tell you, okay, we have, I have the list, we've got it right here in front of us. 72 hours coming out first place. Sean was taken in Povsey, got 2nd and 3rd. Turkey Lips, then Tendons, Unicorn, and Bolt finishing up at 7th place there.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Bye, 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 bye. GG. Look at this perspective again. Falls in. Hey, guys.
Literally everyone in the same 2 squares. You see the look on Turkey Lips' face, too. The reaction to that.
Look at this.
72 hours getting shots and 10s on rotation in. Just trying to get literally anything they can.
Wow.
Sean was eliminated by fall damage right there the last second. And 72 hours taking home the victory royale simply by being ahead of everyone else by a step.
That now sets the tone for what will happen in our final game, our 7th game. We will know where everyone placed for the $1.5 million prize. What a week it has been, folks. What a game that just was, from 6 players down to 1, literally instantly. We mentioned Landjock almost had a chance for another victory royale there. Not the case in the end, but here's how he made it far to that map.
Solid shot to build on his opponent, Fuzzy, right there. You see 1v1 against X's, another one. He's taking those, his aggression is paying off. You see he's 1 or 2 steps ahead of his opponent. He gets the shot off just barely ahead of their build rotation, trying to get up on top of him, and secures a handful of eliminations. But you have to remember, 72 hours just won $25,000 by literally surviving
a storm.
Ridiculous cacophony of players right on top of each other. Yeah,
that's a big thing. Crazy momentum shift for 72 hours there. Nate Hill, who's been a name we talked so much about this week, and well, it's for darn good reason, as this man continues to put himself in favorable positions each map.
Players all stacked up on top of each other. Diggy is basically 1 HP, gets in a fight with Sinful, and hoping, I think Diggy pushing out, trying to get anything he can. He heard the fight, and Diggy maybe in a very, it's an all or nothing situation. Nate listening in there. This last little push in. 19 players.
This was to get his last slim, I think, yeah. Does he find another? Yeah, see, so that was to get 3.
Rocket from above.
I don't know if he got the look. He was trying to calculate. He was like,
yeah.
Did I get top 10 or did I not? I couldn't even tell you. We'll have to find out. But Nate Hill still pushing towards the top of that scoreboard.
We've seen incredible play from him. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Now, with a player base like this, this many competitive players all in one lobby, you have to have consistent gameplay. We're in a situation where $1.5 million on the line. Consistency is going to pay off more than just 1 or 2 exceptional games, and Nate's putting on quite a clinic when it comes to consistency. Well,
we saw highlights from a few of the players there, but we got to show our winner in the end how it all happened. 72 hours comes out on top. I know Liquid. Just look at this. 7 players, 6 players. And then it just all ends instantly. Bye. Game is over, 6-1. Turkey lips alive reactions there and the sigh of relief for 72 hours. At the end of the day, a lot of these guys have become friends now through competing in Fortnite, playing online together, and it's great to see the sportsmanship live here at the event.
It's a good opportunity to see like like you said, the interactions in person for some of these guys. These players, the first time meeting each other in person here at PAX West in Seattle, which is it's awesome to see that. And we talked to 72 hours during the qualifiers. We're going to take have a little chat with him again here. Zeke, you got him?
I'm here with the man, the myth, the legend himself. 72 hours, dude. All right. First off, let's just talk. For anyone that maybe missed this, 72 hours, you were the #1 seed coming in from the heats before, and now you show up in the way you did. And we only have 1 game left to play. Dude, what are your thoughts right now?
Up until that last game, I was sweating. I was nervous, but I'm glad that it went the way it did, Can't complain, and then hopefully Game 7 we can close out strong.
Now, we kind of had a moment here to watch the replays, kind of like watch things develop. Did you know what was going down there? There was a lot of things happening all at once, but did you know what was going down?
I knew I had 2 kills and I was top 10. I knew if I got my my point for getting 3 kills, I would get into, the higher standings. So I knew I was just going to jump on somebody with a double barrel, which I did. And then I jumped on another person because I just saw him in front of me and I had the double barrel loaded, and then the game ended. And I was like, all right, I'm alive. This is a dub. Excellent. This is good news. I'm proud of this one.
Now, what's your strategy going to be like going into this last game? With that amazing play there, you probably poised yourself to take, let's say, top 10. I'd even go as far as to argue that. What's the play here?
Plan is try to get a shotgun off spawn, and don't let someone who has a shotgun push me off spawn, and then do exactly what I've been doing, and that's the only plan I have right now. Just get mats and try to get top 10.
So what would it mean to you here? Obviously you won this, you got the victory out. That's going to be 25K heading your way. And if you walked away with the massive prize there coming in first, what would that mean to you as a player?
I'm speechless. I don't know. I just going to play Game 7 and we'll go from there. I don't even want to think about it right now. I can't even fathom. So we'll just go into Game 7 hoping for the best. That's all I can do.
You got it, man. Best of luck to you in the final game. Ladies and gentlemen, we're throwing to a break. We'll be back with more action. Stay tuned.
weeks of competition. $8 million on the line. The 100 best players in the world. And one final game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the grand finals of the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. Everything leads to this moment. After this next game, we will know who takes home the majority of the $1.5 million prize pool.
Keep in mind, every single Victory Royale over the course of the day, the grand finals here at PAX West, has been worth $25,000. On top of that, first place over the course of the entire event, $225,000. That's life-changing money for whoever comes away that first place spot.
And we talk about that first place spot. Let's see who's currently in it heading into the final game. Our standings a look, Morgoss tied in points with Nate Hill, but due to the Victory Royale, wins the tiebreak currently. Liquid 72 Hours in that 5th spot, Liquid Poach in that 6th spot. You also see Sean was taken. Solid performance here. Nick Merckx actually dropped from 8th down to 14th. He's just below Aiden, who's actually got the most limbs on this front page at 18.
Very close to 20. He's got 1 game left, maybe 2 more. We could see our first 20 elimination player, but a lot of these players putting up 8, 9 eliminations apiece, and the board is heavy with the number of elims.
You saw Chap there, a quiet game for him so far. Only, 1 elim with 3 points. This is it, folks. Our prize pool breakdown one final time. $225,000 for first and the title of Summer Skirmish Champion.
Now, top 5.
At this point,
top 5 is 6 figures regardless, and just making it to the grand finals, Jack, is $5,000 minimum.
We have seen it all so far today. A bit of everything. It has been a ton of fun. With everything said, there are hundreds of thousands of people watching online. Thank you for tuning on in. It's crazy to think this is just the beginning of Fortnite competition. It is improving literally every week. So many great announcements, such a good time. PAX West, I think it's safe to say, has been a major success for Fortnite.
Now, if you're anywhere here at PAX West or in Seattle in general and you got nothing going on in the next 5 minutes, you should probably sprint your way over to the parking lot here, and you got to take this
people
in.
have lined the street outside. They're watching the
it's
huge
crazy. I see people
screen
across the street actually watching, and the reason, Jack, is because right now,
ladies and gentlemen,
the final game.
One final time. Can we make some noise? This is it. $1.5 million to be decided right here, right now. The battle bus has started. Thank the bus driver. Good luck. Have fun.
Now, like you said, this is Game 7, the last bus trajectory for the entirety of Summer Skirmish. 8 weeks straight. There's a top left to bottom right. It's a pretty even spread, a clear cut across the entire map. You get to see another even spread, players dropping in. I expect, I just got to say this, Nick Merckx versus Aiden, the final round. This might be it. We'll see.
And this could be the most important. They're both close to the scoreboard right now, but, a big thing from Nick could make all the difference. Vape Jesus is wearing the Black Knight mask. IRL
in real challenge. I don't
think that adds any extra armor.
He's got pizzazz, that's for sure. You see Lenine going down.
Does he have the headset on too? No, he's just going for it. Okay, interesting play.
Tilted tower, or lucky landing. We'll see if this pays off for him. Speaking of Aiden and Nick Merckx, we already got crowd cheering here as soon as Aiden shows up on the screen, and there you go. Whoa, a lot of people. Bartologist crunch. You got Nick Merckx inside the main building he always drops to, and early rockets for Aiden is going to be pretty important, especially if nobody else has shield yet. And speaking of the devil, there we go. Get a full shield. You can swap weapons out. He's going to get that and green AR. Clingers on the ground too as an option to fill the last slot. Flower on the outside. Some C4, switch to attack, shotgun shot. Whips a little bit left and right. A body shot, there we go. 33 as well. He's got to be low, and there it is. Bovesy goes down. 38 HP left for Flower. He does have a little bit.
You think Crashy's going to sprint on over,
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Saf, who has always been landing at the top of Valhalla or Viking Village here, does it yet again. Drum gun on the ground. He's got Jumpman nearby. He does have a health advantage.
There's a rift there too, so no matter how long this fight plays out, Jack, they can go to the last second, and whoever's left can escape.
Tenpo just eliminated Nice. Here's a look at Kevy in a shotgun engagement. The tack not coming out on top quite yet. It's actually a battle with tempo. Who has 1 elim so far. Kevy is as weak as he could possibly be, and there's another elim for tempo.
We were just talking about up at the Lynx crashing, did push on that fight on Flower and got the elimination as well. We got Aiden fighting a little box on the outside here. Rotating around with somebody who's dropping in from above. A lot of damage, and Sakairos gets the elimination on Aiden early, which means no more final round. Rex sees Sakairos out in the open, and
this
also
is what happens with Tilted when there's this many people landing here. It's a completely different ball game, as you've got to be worried so much about these third-party engagements. But oh my goodness, since we last checked in here, Jumpman looted 2 chests and actually got full shields from it, which will now give him a huge health advantage over Sap. Sap's got to be worried about this one now. Because again, he's stuck at just around 100 HP flat.
To Tilted Rex, who just got that outside elim. He was watching the fight go down, now looking for tendons. Probably heard the trap go down inside. Not necessarily the best time to push. This is air-cooled TV. Some shots, jump shots on Boyer right there. Down in Lucky Landing gets his first elimination for the game. Back up top, Saf. We were just watching this. Jumpman, most likely still full shield, full HP. Hysteria, I believe, in the feed. Just got an elimination with the fall. Must have dropped someone off of a structure. Saf taking a shot there. Jumpman, the laser from the green drum gun, gets his first even.
And honestly, that's the big difference. He got all that extra shield, pushes on up to Sap, and the game kind of ends shortly thereafter for him. Here's Rex still in Tilted. That epic scoped assault rifle.
Static Bartonologist, I would bet Nick Merckx is still inside the big gray tower.
Wouldn't have it any other way. Really farming up this RV to get as many materials as possible now. If you're Rex, you've got to be so worried because you know all eyes are on him right now. Cheeky to even break that for just another 13 brick. That actually lets him build 2 more structures.
You see in the top right how close these 2 players are rotating against each other, just trying to figure out what angle the other is going to come from, where the best position to push to is going to be.
And this was Dakota. If you remember, Tempo was around here who had 2 elims, so he was, oh my. Look, he even said it. Wow. And I can tell you right now, Tempo, not a happy camper, as there is perfect accuracy coming on in.
Now, this is the very southeast corner of the map. You can see kind of in your mini map there. An interesting thing about this building is there's a basement underneath. You could be on the roof, you could be inside, but there's test spawn in there, so you might have a player hiding inside. And this is a launch pad kind of sneakily hiding. He's gonna back out of this. I think the threat of the zone, potentially too much. Farigo even, he's at 150, which is fine. He could have taken the engagement, but.
You mentioned, you know, FaZe Tempo getting eliminated. FaZe Replays just got knocked out of this one as well. Bartonologist, tendons, ecstatic, all around. Big Gray, this is Hysteria with Splodes. Don't tell me, don't tell me. Okay, Splodes don't connect, but
that
either way, knocks him down.
On the feet.
And here's
Wheels.
CBK Flame getting dropped on out of this one.
Now, that shot, that angle we had on Tilted Towers, I did not see Nick Merckx running around.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I'd love to hear an update on exactly where he stands.
Nick Merckx and 82 players we've watched the story of develop over the course of this final week of Summer Skirmish. Wheels coming out of Lucky Landing with 2 eliminations. 1 more is going to get him a point and put him in a better position.
As Wheels is rotating towards Lucky Landing, he's got to go the opposite way. Here's LeVake. Only 35 health, but gets the headshot onto Hysteria. And that'll end Hysteria's day. He was just on the outskirts of the top 20. So I believe he'll fall just short of earning some of that extra prize money.
Now, Courage, some of these players, do you think they're going to make, since this is the final game, they're going to make decisions based solely on that? They're going to maybe play it a little bit differently than they would have any of the previous games?
I would think so. I mean, if you're one of those people that literally is still at 0, I feel like you kind of go for it in some scenarios. Yes, 3 points would be enough to move you towards a victory royale, but as we've seen, those are, you can't rely on getting a victory. You know, like you could try to play for it, but the way that the end of these games are and how all these rotations are with 40 people in these small areas, I'd almost rather play a little bit more aggressive and get get 5 elims maybe and then a top 10 than having to worry about getting a victory royale to get 3 points.
Diggy and his opponent basically trying to mix it up, going up and down against each other. Fuzzy and you see Landjog, both of them kind of just stacked in the same box. It's like they're roommates right now, and nobody wants to rotate. Kind of had a spin around angle there, watching just how many people are very distant from them, which means, I mean, there's not necessarily a chance of a third player coming in that engagement, but neither of them want to fight anybody. I think he's going to have to wall himself in. The rocket coming in kind of exposes his opponent inside the same structure. It's time for one of them to engage the other. Everything was blown open there, and it was Nibs that shot, I believe, that rocket. You see Amon's in front of him as well, but the zone is kind of it's the player that's going to push everybody along. Still probably the most efficient eliminator of the entire weekend.
Diggy just breaking through structures. He wants this elim so darn bad. He doesn't even have mats. It's like an all-in sort of thing right here from both players, as there's also Wheels still here who's bandaging. For Diggy, technically right now, he's at one elim. If he somehow cleans up Kayun and then Wheels tries to go for the trade, and he can get the second elim there as well to put him at 3. But as I say that was his last wall. He's done for. Wheels and Kayun now just on the opposite sides of these walls from each other.
Back and tilted, still inside the safe zone from the last rotation, but it's going to be time to move out soon. Takata catches a player, a couple taps on the shield. Moving out of that big gray tower to the new building. There's a lot of planks in there, as we've seen in the past. Players can come out of here with all sorts of resources, and that's among us. Nade's coming in, though. Takata's got to rotate out of his build structure. There's a ton of loot on the ground here. There's I believe that was a gold double barrel. It is. I wonder if he's going to go back for it. It's such a commonly picked up weapon in these scrimmage games. Oh, look for a shot. Hit this thing on the jump. I'd lose my mind.
Players impulsing to the close mountain. He's going to try to follow this build and get shredded on down. There goes 38 of his shield. He'll pop that big shield potion to go ahead and get back up towards 185. He's got to be worried about the person on this close mountain. Here's a replay. Here was the last one we got onto Ecstatic, and well, it looks like it doesn't get much easier than this. As Ecstatic was, yeah, 1 bullet. That epic legendary, or sorry, that epic assault rifle, not epic legendary, with the quick elim there. 2 elims for himself so far, 54 players remaining. He's still in tilted, but this zone so far pushed west. Only 1 player alive right now, currently has 3 eliminations.
Those Wheels. And this next circle courage is basically centered on that villain base, or Valhalla, the Viking village up on top of the mountain. So you kind of got Greasy on the edge, you've got Snobby on the edge, and the sports complex. But there's a lot of open area with just sprinkling of trees, which means you're going to see a lot of structures pop up as the main defense method to feed their poach, securing another elimination. We've got multiple players now. I believe Takata's at 3 elims. Wheels eliminated 53rd this game, but a handful of them still sitting on 2 eliminations. Chris, FPS, Lancius, Levick, and Sofa all have 2 eliminations and are still alive, which means 1 more for any of them. Is Amon's picking Snood off.
Gosh, Barnologist was on the receiving end of these explodes. Trying to survive on through, does get a ton of damage down onto FPS. Thankfully for him, he's got minis, he's got a big shield. He can go ahead and get back up towards 120 HP. Bartnologist will take the time to stop and medkit, and you see Blind trying to be the third party that engages on here. He's pushing forward. Blind can pay spoiler for both these players here. One on the opposite side of this wall. Been tagged once. There's the shots coming on in. First elim now for Blind, the second player peeking from above. Will this work out perfectly for Blind? You can't tell as of yet. To FPS at 121, that's a big tag with that heavy shotgun. Oh, out of the sky. As the crowd erupts there, that's his 3rd elim to FPS, getting on the board.
Very good shot there on Blind on the way down. We've got Landjong rocking the power cord still, trying to rotate his way inside. The Storm's going to push him 40 seconds roughly. 42 players remaining in this final game of the Summer Scrim.
AR ammo at 9.
Basically nothing.
Mats at basically nothing as well. This is, again, an all-in type play. When this zone closes, it'll begin hitting for 2 as well, and they still have a ways to go to reach safety. He's taking so much time for this.
This is it's a big play here for only his 2nd elimination. He probably should have stayed ahead and just kept moving with his zone, unless he was afraid of the player.
He's not even making a move on it. He's got to go.
Unless his opponent has some form to heal HP, this is going to be a wash potentially.
And he just bounce padded up. And here, look, it's going to start hitting for 2. I mean, I don't think there's any way he makes this. Oh, gosh.
Chasing in on the player behind him.
He's just looking for the limit at this point. And don't get me wrong, this guy's totally weak, but this was not worth it.
Too high of a chance. Tendon is going to go down. Tendon's actually going to make it out of this scot-free. Jack throws himself the fall damage at 10 HP. The head nod from Tendon saying, yeah, the Storm can have you and I'm going to stay alive. This is a top-down view. Takada getting his 3rd elimination on Bandit for his point in the 7th match. Nibs dropping down. He's got a decent setup for weapons here. No Splodes left, but he does have a Chug Jug, and he's going to take the 15 seconds right now.
Look at that build battle.
Now's the time to do it. He's got, and he just barely adjusts and stops it.
He moved a little bit too far, and now Levake will shoot him down. So
honestly, that adjustment might have saved him. The angle from that rocket, he scooted just barely down the stairs. The blast radius, he moved just outside of it. Didn't get the Chug Jug off, but I'd rather that than get eliminated.
It's going to be a greasy ending with the Valhalla / Viking Village still in play on the top of that mountain. And he's going to stop again and try to Chug Jug. You see Liquid Chap just got eliminated. Rough day for Liquid Chap up to this point in regards to elims, but at 3 points, I think he still may have gotten himself near that top 20. We'll obviously check the full standings after this game is all said and done.
Ranger eliminated by the Storm as well in the feed there. 34 left, 30 seconds till the next circle. And we've got a big stack of players on the south and southeast edges of that mountain. That's a lot of players that are going to build up those little bases. In fact, we can see a top-down view of the minimap. I'm going to be honest with you, so many of these little arrows aren't even moving. They're just spinning in circles.
Yep. Everyone is more than content with just staying alive for this time. Takada already with 3, looking to add more limbs to his game. Here comes the zone. Once this one closes, the Storm will hit for 5. And that's when it really begins to start.
2 points trying to get inside the safe zone, but there's here.
From Takada, if someone tries to loot it.
Catching yourself mid-shot. He doesn't really have a whole lot here. 289 metal left. That's not necessarily going to be enough to push his way in. Depends on the choice of this 3rd player whether to continue to engage based on the damage.
End the campfire, though.
And here you go. I was talking about it a second ago. These are all the little pods. Everyone's decided to build their apartment complex here, basically.
Play for the late game. Morgoth staying in, and everyone just sitting still. Tifu still in this game as well. Sam, Joystick, 31 players left. Look at the materials for Ghost Bizzle here too. Almost 1,400 to work with. Pretty solid spot, and he's got to like his inventory as well. He's got the rare drum gun, rare assault rifle. Obviously the tac shotgun may not be the best, but he's got 10 minis.
There you go, the next circle. Honestly, pretty much nobody inside, so everybody's going to have to rotate to that southwest edge. A bit of cliff play, some water, barely any water in play here for the next circle, but everybody's got to move. And Bizzle, along with a number of other players, are going to take the opportunity very early, get ahead of the rest of the crowd. Just over 60 seconds remaining. 3rd-party shots going to happen like that. Bizzle's got any player that rotates early is going to get tapped at. The goal there, people are looking for their 1st, 2nd, even 3rd elimination, trying to get as many points as they can. But man, early movement, getting ahead of the game, especially as we've watched these games develop over the course of the day, it's always paid off. Poach, player we've had our eyes on quite a bit, hiding down here underneath. They have those catacombs, a number of different little compartments to hide in, making it more difficult for his opponents to track him as he moves. Bizzle rotating back in. He's going to run potentially into Poach's structure here, probably to his front left in just a second, depending on his decision to keep moving. He's going to build up right at the edge of the zone. A great choice, too. He has a chance now to look out any windows he can edit and just take pop shots if he has enough ammo at people. Mershman getting lasties in the feed with a fall 28 meters. Looks like he dropped out a structure that had been built up. And here you go. The very edge, we get a little bit of water in here, but Kutrain getting shot at by Morgoth, one of our leaders.
See, now the question is Nate Hill still alive? Because we know Morgoth and Nate Hill were kind of 2 of the top fighting for those spots.
1st and 2nd before this.
Morgoth still in this. No points are in this game, though.
30 players remaining.
Takada gets dropped so low on HP. He's having to bandage. Sam just sitting right on the edge of that mountain. Looks like someone's flying through the air trying to drop on down. Everyone's going to have to get off that mountain now. 30 players left in our final game of the summer skirmish. Again, when this game is over, things will be calculated, and we will know where everyone stacks up to see what chunk of the prize money they'll be taking home of the 1.5 million. Now, if you're wondering what these fast edits are, it's basically letting the metal repair so we can see through it for moments like this. Quickly edits out, makes a window, edits out again.
Tfue in the feed, eliminating Takata, one of our higher elimination players this game. FPS getting sprayed from the side. He's got to layer because there's multiple players in here. I believe the one he was just shooting was spinning like a top.
Got a second to live.
Anything he could.
That was on the base soldier. 28 players left now.
Morgas trying to establish his third elim. This is FPS with 5.
Morgas again
does get the third elimination on FPS. That's a point for him. Ripmate here hanging out on the very edge of the circle. And the feed tendons take Strugs out. Gorilla gets Fulmer from TB.
Morgas gets another. So 4 limbs for Morgas. Expanding on the lead he had. It's going to take some incredible performances at the end of this to potentially dethrone him. And here's a look at everybody right now. Morgas close, I believe, towards obviously even more points in top 10. Poach moving into this next zone.
You've got a number of players close to the cliff, too, building up towers. They have top-down views of pretty much everything. You can wait and bide their time. We had just for a second there, I believe Fade was up on the outside. You see Tfue moving in the back corner. 23 left, 35 seconds. Very fast builds, trying to establish basically any structure he can.
Oh, no. It's a heavy tag. Down to just 78 health, and again, that audible. You can tell when the shields are gone. That's ND Gorilla, who he's in a build battle with right now. Both players could be further from the zone, which could be their downfall in the next few moments as the zone begins to move. Coming down to our final couple circles. Sam dropping down. He finally just left his little huts that he's been in forever, it seems. Marksman still in this as well. Ghost Bizzle still with a decent amount of materials.
Here we go. The storm's starting to move. You've got only a handful of players outside the zone, including one flying in right now. I believe there's 3 or 4 more that still need to get inside the safe zone. So everyone else of the 23 players, the rest of the field is already established inside the safe zone. So players like Poach, you see, they're going to take tap shots at anybody that catch moving because it's the count of players that's going to be is very low.
Remember, only top 10 earn an extra point. There's a look at everybody moving. Sam gets dropped on down. Tendons is one shot as well. Fade still keeping the high ground at max HP. Morgas now at 5 elims.
Fade picking up an elimination in the feed. That high ground advantage paying off there, Morgas. 5 elims trying to push up top.
Gotta stop and use this slurp.
This will cap him off if he gets the entire slurp takes. He'll be back to 100-100.
Morgas is hungry, looking for more. The next zone about to be in play. Joystick still playing the high ground. You got C9 Kriz there as well. Marksman around the middle of those builds. Look at how weak tendons is.
Morgas took a little bit of damage in there. Use the campfire to try and push up his HP so that the slurp, like we've talked about before, it takes up your HP first. It refills that and then switches over to shield. But his hope was to try and get every single point he could out of it.
Joystick one in this game. Top 19 right now. Everyone moving. Poach using as little materials as possible. The sign of a great player, making sure he makes the most of all these late game builds. He's basically positioned himself perfectly for this next zone as he begins the builds. Everyone having to move. He's got one just in front of him. It's Morgas of all people. 72 hours nearby as well. Poach inching forward, gets tagged heavy. He'll place a trap too. Come on, run on in if you'd like.
18 players left, 10 seconds till this thing closes, and then we find out what direction they're going to have to go next. Morgas, 5 eliminations still.
Look at his inventory. 860 bullets in a minigun.
Ridiculous.
He can spray this forever.
Almost gets caught off guard. The edit there, bit back just a little bit. He's very low on materials now. Only 20 hours left.
Just got dropped by the storm. More fights going
players,
on around.
14 players.
14 players remaining. It all comes down to this. You see it. Look at everybody.
Fade going down to the bottom of the screen. 13 players left.
Kriz goes down to cease. Marksman still alive. Tfue still up as well. Poach just hiding in his little box, and Triz the most HP left in the lobby at max 200. Morgas has so much firepower, but not a lot of materials and shields. It's making it have to second guess these decisions.
11 players left. The final match, game 7 of the summer skirmish. in the rotation. Everybody's got to go west.
Everyone's got to move. Here we go, folks. It's all going to develop quickly.
Right in
One
front
in
of
front of
us.
us. Tries to hit the shot. Nothing as of yet. Turns the corner. Spraying on down with the drum gun. The Storm at his back. He's only got one direction he can go, and that is forward. He breaks the wall, looking to reload this double barrel. We know how lethal this can be as he moves close. There's a shot on the Tfue. Cease with the trade. 8 now left as everyone's pushing forward. Cease gets dropped by Bizzle. 7 players left. They're on the edge of this tower. One falls. There goes Sofa as he took a tumble. Poach down low, playing the low ground. Triz trying to pop this big shield. These are our final players left. All the weeks of competition leading to this point. 6 players remaining. Marksman with the most health drops on down. That's actually Poach, who I believe is spraying at him right now. Marksman could have a big game on his hands. He's had a pretty quiet day up to this point, but this could solve it all right here. One more limb would guarantee him another point as well. He doesn't have a lot of materials. He's using them sparingly. One player in the house, that's Poach. You got Kooptree all the way up top. Spray down coming in. Poach with another limb. He's now at 3, which will earn him another point. Could Poach be making a sneaky move? Oh! Goes through the doors. He closes it. Marksman sneaks on in. That's another point. He's down to just 12 HP. Only gets a quick little tag there. Top 3 now. Kooptrain, Triz, and Ghost Bizzle. This is it. Remember, Victory Royale is a $25,000 prize. Kooptrain has bandages. He's playing the high ground. Triz couldn't have less HP. I'm wondering if Kooptrain knows this. He's trying to make a bounce pad play. Nothing as of yet. Kooptrain trying to keep this high ground. He flies into the storm. He'll die to the storm. 1 versus 1. Kooptrain from the high ground, dropping on down. This is it. The final zone is closing. Who will win the $25,000? Here he goes. He's got 1 layer on him. Will it be a heel off? No, he gets in his face. Oh my God! Ghost Bizzle. $25,000 richer. You thought he had it. You thought he had it, but here it is from Ghost Bizzle's perspective. How weak was he? How weak was he? Oh no, this could be heartbreaking. This could be heartbreaking. 26 left. That was 5 limbs and a Victory Royale. That'll put him with a nice 5-point gain right there and $25,000. I'll tell you right now, Ghost Bizzle just made himself a hell of a lot richer.
Absolutely incredible finish there. The 7 games. I need it to be more, Courage, to be quite honest with you. It's I just can't get enough of this. Today has been a fantastic day, a crazy number of plays. Players like Bizzle right there last second, holding on to everything that he could, accuracy right when it mattered. It pays off big, $25,000.
Incredible entertainment across the last 4 days, and now it all comes down to basically we wait for the standings. We wait to see where everyone stacks on up. I could not even tell you where it all goes from here. For all I know, the way that those performances at the end, we could have had a person sneak up into first place. But what an honor it has been to be part of all this. So much fun. I mean, you look around, there's like thousands of people watching from outside, from inside here. The support for Fortnite competition stronger than ever before. We've got some replays to look at as we tally the final scoreboard. Let's go ahead and look. Takano. There it is, Takada, sorry.
Keep in mind, too, while we go through the replays here, there you go, the taps on tempo, you saw his reaction to the, oh, wow. But while we're taking a look at all these replays, we'll have the money presentation here shortly as soon as we figure the standings out, as soon as all that's calculated. So don't go anywhere. We're not done yet.
Yeah, you'll definitely want to stay tuned for that. Takada with the quick limb on the Bandit. And this was really how he drops on out. That was by Tfue, who had no build left. Okay, you know, of all people I dropped to, it's Tfue, arguably one of the best players in the world.
I wouldn't be upset about that, right? You know. There's a number of times you run into players like this, especially in previous summer skirmish matches. We've had the opportunity to play a handful of them, and man, they are punishingly good, and they will catch you off guard every time. These kind of plays, all 7 of the games today, you saw people taking advantage even just of just the tiniest mistakes. Single edits, you have floors that have just a corner cut out last second and a single shotgun shot there. The speed at which they play and how they play, it's overwhelmingly impressive.
Now, heading into that final game, our leader, Morgoss, who was doing a fantastic job today, had that monster game earlier to put him in that first place spot. Here's where the game really changed for him. Around the top 30, he only had 1 limb, but watch how it develops from here.
Gets a second on base soldier there. The spray, that drum gun coming in handy, taking care of basically anything in front of him in terms of structure. You see through the wall, spots a player trying to heal up, drops the C4 in, the FPS going down. Those remote explosives, super powerful, especially when you have your opponent trapped in a box they built themselves. He's going to sit on top of his eliminations, just keep building a buffer. Literally, Punisher takes the same box that FPS was sitting inside, and Margot says, okay, no, somebody was just in there, and I'm going to show you what happened to them, too.
Yes, don't worry. That's a quick little limb and a bunch of loot there. Helped him secure a high placing in that final Game 7. We've also got some of the bigger names out there, too. Liquid's Poach, who I know a lot of people are looking at potential favorite to take all the competition this week. The man knows when he gets an advantage, it's time to go for it, and that snap saved his game early on against Rex. He's in those final zones. The edit onto Brandon.
Two very fast edits.
This final sequence, it was so close. You see, he gets inside, goes to shut the door.
Catches him just outside. Look at that, right around the corner. The marksman that just barely moved inside gets the jump shotgun shot. So he's got a smile on his face afterwards, right?
Oh, for sure. Unfortunate ending for him, but still a great showing from him this week. He's got to be proud of himself. And I think we've got ourselves a nice little montage to show. This is
the theme of almost the entire day in terms of early game combat.
Forget titling it the Summer Skirmish. This was the Aiden versus Nick Merckx Skirmish, as they just went out at every single game.
Name me a better rivalry, courage you can. These guys going back and forth, trading shots. Aiden even commented that he felt like he was playing against a PC player, like a mouse and keyboard at the very beginning. It's such accuracy from these two controller players. He loved to see it. And inside this staircase, every single floor just turned into. Like,
that was one that I thought Nick was going to have, but it looked like he fumbled the swap, and then Aiden gives him the clap. God, I love it so much. That was just awesome. Here it is again too from later on. Aiden, who was at near max HP. Nick had no shields, but you see that runs right into the double barrel. I mean, if Aiden has any less health, if Aiden is 150, Nick gets that elip.
Exactly. Such close fights between the two of them. Aiden actually came out of that with, I believe, 2 quarter rifts because Nick had one, or sorry, rift to go. Nick had one as well and dropped it right there. The C4 bait as Nick was trying to push back out.
I would actually be really interested to see if they could have like a damage done just to each other. To see who did more damage today.
More damage.
Like, even though Aiden came out on top basically every single time, I think, Nick did so much damage to Aiden in some of those fights. I think he tweeted out like, I did 500 damage to him at one point. I still couldn't get it done. So it was nutty to see that battle, as they are both fearless inside Tilted Towers, two of the better players at navigating that whole area. As we keep going on, though, earlier today we had that crazy finish from Liquid 72 Hours, where it went from 6 players to 1 in like a literal second. You see how he's dancing around, and the next thing you know, the zone closes, and boom. That was Turkey Lip's live reaction as he tried to get out of the zone. 72 Hours breeze a cyber leak.
Things changed so quickly there that even we were confused. The players, you lose track of who gets what placement. We had to have the leaderboard in front of us to even know who came top 6 that match.
Yeah, and that's just how crazy some of the endings of these BRs could be. Obviously, adding that extra Game 7 just made the day even nuttier. Earlier on, again, we had that crazy triple rift finish that Nate Hill was involved in. And here was again, Landjock gets to the low ground, pops the rip to go. And they all fly to the high ground. And here it is again, just floating on down, floating on down.
This match too, this was Landjock's first elimination down here at the bottom, and it was one that he was kind of even forced into. He was trying to avoid engagements as often as he can, dropping that, trying to go for the rift again. But Gorilla said it's time to fight, and Landjock responded.
And that fight helps Landjock go on to actually win that game, which helped him move way up there on the leaderboards. Again, we'll see where he stacks up at the end. We are continuing to calculate the standings for you all at home. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. We'll reveal where everyone stacks up and who takes home the majority of that $1.5 million. You win $225,000. What do you spend some of your money on?
Probably a lot of popsicles from here. They've been fantastic.
Dude, seriously, the line popsicles, whoever made them.
The weight of what you can win here, it cannot be stressed enough for some of these players. There are people here that you pay their entire way out. People if they're content creators, streamers as well, they're taking time off of their stream. They're putting progress at risk, taking time away from work if playing Fortnite isn't their main job.
Yep.
And that's a lot to put on the line. And so but the payoff $225,000. Top 5 come away with 6 figures, and a victory royale is $25,000. The weight of that cannot be stated enough.
Yep.
And every second we're getting closer to finding out who's come away with what.
It's events like this that make new opportunities come up for people. You never know. Morgoss could be on an organization here soon based off of how he did today. I think we have another replay to look at. This was the victory royale from Tendons with the trap. Oh.
You got to realize too, like playing as competitive players of this nature, to go for something like this is gutsy, and it paid off big. Honestly, it caught him literally as he was pushing in.
Jeez.
Sean was going for it. The tack shotgun spray, trying to hit every shot that he could, and it just wasn't fast enough. He ended up kind of boxing and literally trapped.
Literally trapped.
Literally
indeed.
trapped.
And that was, I believe, to get Tendons his 5th elim as well. So we got like the 5 elims plus, or sorry, the 3rd elims plus the extra points from the victory royale. So monster performance there from Tendons. That moved him into the top 5 at that point. But then obviously the game continued to develop. Is there anyone for you that really surprised you with the performance today? You know, other than maybe Morgoss, but it could be good or bad, but you know, as we continue to look at replays.
We touched base on a couple players. C9 Blind was one that I had my eyes on quite a bit. We had a couple replays from him here, and he put on such a good show. I love seeing the tracking, that engagement against Powder.
Yep.
You just watch him keep track of every single player, and he did it a number of times over the course of this match. This was intelligent top-down play, multiple rocket launcher eliminations. Right here, feeding another one in through a window, catches him off guard. Jay Cuddy going down to that explosion, and he's just being able to tell exactly the intent of every single move. There was no flailing, minus the pressure right here at the end. I think right after this clip too, he held his hands up and you could see him shaking like crazy. But he played so aggressive but intelligent. That's a player to keep your eyes on forever.
For sure. For sure. And a great performance from him. Again, to the organizations that sent players out here, I think a lot of them could be pretty proud of how their players performed. You mentioned FaZe. Everyone had qualified. All 5 that they sent qualified. Ghost with so many top performances this weekend. You mentioned Trouble Boys had 4 of them as well. Again, shout out to everyone for the love on social media, using the hashtag Summer Skirmish, and your thoughts. You know, hey, you want more events like this? Let everyone know. Let Epic know. Let the sponsors know. Obviously, thank you again, Logitech, Astro Gaming, and Respawn Products for supplying the peripherals and the chairs. Then for the event, made it all possible. And again, I'm just happy part of this. This was a dream come true. So many people watching today. I just want to do it more. If
we stay in the chair, you think they'll just keep playing?
I feel like we can't leave. I mean, I could just tie myself down here. Good luck lifting me. But we also took a look at High Stakes, the new limited time mode coming to Fortnite. Well, the Getaway limited time mode, but again, High Stakes coming soon. So awesome. You see the limited time mode, the wildcard outfit, the High Stakes challenges. That's the llama jewel that you have to pick up and carry. These are the challenges. Play 10 matches of the Getaway. You get 5,000 XP. Moving forward, deal 500 damage to jewel-carrying opponents. You earn the spray with the different suits. And then this is my favorite, though. The final one, the contrail that you can wind up earning for yourself. Pick up a jewel, 5 different matches of the Getaway, and you just got money. Llama money flying all around.
Man, that crowbar looks incredible, too. I can't wait for this thing to come out. Playing some Getaway as soon as we get home, I guarantee you're going to get those 10 matches done, what, 15 minutes?
I don't know if that's possible, but...
Jack, all you have to do is get eliminated first. It's possible. Trust me.
Trust me. Yeah, I've done it before.
We'll find a way.
No, that's typically where we wind up stacking ourselves up. Again, calculating the standings for everybody at home. Want to make sure there's no issues. As you can imagine, there's a lot of money on the line, a lot of people waiting. Yeah. And I think we'll be doing some reveals to the players as well here soon. Oh, here's, again, if you want to see High Stakes once more, this is the gameplay. Again, as you fly on in. Safe Cracker is the new glider. So it looks like people can just kind of land right on where the crates will come on in, where the safes will fall.
I love the fact that they have some UI elements on here too to keep track of everything that's relevant on the board. You can see it on the compass. You can see it on the right side of your screen what's available and what isn't. Even that little sound, you hear the sound? Spinning the dial, trying to open the safe right there. Satisfying.
And there's a go-ahead again, them opening up the jewel. Get the jewel, you take to the Getaway van. As they go ahead and pick this up. Following this, we will be heading down to the floor to begin the live reveal to our players where they stack up. We're going to be doing it in waves, essentially. So they'll be seeing live with us exactly what their purse is and what they're taking home. Oh, this for me. Oh my goodness.
Curious question for you, Courage. Based on the grappler on screen right now, how do you think it would have modified kind of the way the games were played today?
For me,
adding another movement element.
Right? For me, I'm wondering if it's something that you can use to like save yourself when falling. Like, oh, you get knocked down from something, you go ahead and grapple to the floor. Like, can you grapple the floor and have it stop you from taking fall damage?
We get to play with this thing this week,
right?
Too. I can't wait.
There's a celebration as they float on out. Getaway complete the victory royale. I mean, I believe the time is here. I believe it is now time to go to the floor and begin to see the live reveal of where these players finished, how much they won, some of the live reactions from these guys. Again, life-changing amount of money, $1.5 million on the line. Here's everyone down there waiting. You see standing, hoping to see where they stack up.
The nerves right now have to be at an all-time high, especially some of these players that know that they were very close to either moving up or down on the leaderboards compared to other players.
Yep. And I believe it'll pop up on their screen, so they'll be able to see exactly where they are. Again, remember, 21st through 100th, they all walk home with $5,000. Once they get to top 20, you begin to see, I think, that's still
Vape Jesus.
Vape Jesus with the Black Knight helmet on. Which is an interesting hairdo. I think it's, look at Nick Merckx there talking with everybody. Aiden on your screen. So there you go, $5,000. Hey, congratulations. That's still darn good for a weekend of Fortnite. As we'll wait to see more live reactions. I think the difference in prize money, what, from his 10th is like 11,700, or sorry, 20th is like 11,700 something.
And as soon as you kick into the top 5, 6 figures, 100,000
And look, getting a picture for himself.
Oh, yeah.
You love to see it. People still waiting to see. If it hasn't been revealed yet, at this point they know, hey, I think I've won a little bit more than just that, right? Because they're kept in the dark down there throughout the majority of this.
And we'll have an official list for everybody, too, in case you, I mean, obviously you're not going to catch necessarily everything on people's screens as they rotate around in the room. People are waiting to find out. They want to make sure every single calculation is done appropriately. They don't want to. The last thing you want to see, Courage, is an incorrect number for something like this.
Yes, right. You won two. No, you didn't. You won 5,000. Sorry, you did not win an extra 220 grand. But no, we'll wait and see how it all plays on out. Some smiles around there now. I think people are beginning to realize more and more they've got more money won. I think Nick maybe gets a laughing in. There you go, $11,250 for those top 20 spots. We'll see some live reactions here. Pretty darn good as people clap it on up. I believe that's what Nick will wind up taking on home. Fantastic performance from him coming on in, qualifying last night, playing today, placing top 20. If you're Nick Merckx, you got to be pretty darn proud. And there you go, the quick little flex to the camera. Proud of himself on that one.
Now keep in mind they're going to show the final list eventually, but obviously they don't want to get out ahead of the players that are down there waiting to hear firsthand on their own. You don't want to give it away before even the players themselves know, you know. Right. You got to wait till the last second there. But
so I believe that was 16th through 20th just revealed. Moving forward, should have possibly 11th through 15th, I'm assuming. Good sportsmanship high five from Nick to Aiden there.
What a story over the course of the day, right? Those two.
And look, they're getting pictures, everybody's sharing it. It's a big moment. These guys have been putting a ton of time to this game. Ghost Bizzle waiting right there, wanting to see where he stacks up. And now you're getting to a point, Lupo, where you look at this going, wait, oh, okay, I still haven't seen myself.
My name has not shown up yet.
I'm getting up there with money.
I feel like I'd be the guy down there, Jack, just spinning in my chair.
Oh, well, I would have been hungry after all these games, so I probably would have had like a ham and cheese sandwich, maybe a bag of barbecue chips.
I'll take some Durburger over here.
Oh, no, for sure. I would have absolutely been eating already in the player area. Worth it, though, as everyone's still waiting. I think a lot of people not wanting the weekend to end because they've all had such a good time.
I don't blame them. It's been a fantastic 4 days watching some of the best gameplay we've ever seen in Fortnite. And this is, like we've said a million times, this is just the beginning. There's going to be so much more on the way from Epic.
So much.
The competitive scene is only getting started, and seeing even non-competitive players, or players that aren't necessarily tied to an organization like a team or anything like that, seeing those names rise above is fantastic.
Oh, 100%. It's a lot of new names have been built. I can tell you right now, more people know about Aiden now than I think before this weekend. It's safe to say 22,500, the next leap in prize money. As we'll wait to see maybe a couple of the reactions of who won some of that. Uh-oh, Ghost Bizzle still he hasn't got an update quite yet. So he's waiting to see what his screen shows.
I can
It's a
only
good
imagine.
sign.
If you're at home too, I'm sure you're getting stir crazy waiting for these just as much as the players are. $180,000.
Wow. I guess we leaped on up there as we revealed the
Very
top 10.
quickly.
And look at the reactions. I believe. Is that our winner right there?
You might be looking at.
Is that our winner? I believe that is our winner on our screen. More
$225,000.
A life-changing amount of money.
It's going to take him a bit to process exactly what he's seeing on his screen.
That is what we call shock, people.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the victory earlier. Remember the victory royale, another 25 grand. he's
running away.
Yes, he's looking for security. As he needs, with that much money, he needs some protection. As there, look, you see the claps form now. Congratulations to all our competitors on an incredible performance. My goodness, we'll get a full standings breakdown for you all, but look, he doesn't even know what to do. He doesn't even know what to do, and I don't blame him. You come into a weekend thinking, hey, maybe I can go there and qualify. Sure, I'll travel on over. Oh, I made it through the heats. I got to play in the Oh, I made it into the finals.
No, I got to touch base on this.
Oh, I just won $250,000.
You got to remember, this is the same guy that in the middle of his interview, like a quick shout out to FaZe. So Banks is going to have his eyes on that man for sure.
I'm telling you right now. People are making phone calls. There's enough of the FaZe guys here to probably pick him up and take him without whether he wants it or not. We'll just bring him back to the houses there in Los Angeles that they have. But congratulations to all our competitors. We still have a massive crowd here. And while we wait for the final standings, can we get a round of applause, please, for all our competitors this week? Absolutely. Great competition through and through. You see the aftermath of the beanbags. What a setup we've had here. Props to everyone from Epic who set up this venue. Brilliantly done. As now we just wait to get the final list and then sign off for the week. What an honor it's been.
What do we do after this?
I don't know. I think we just go and like eat something. But I keep talking about food. But Zeke, you got something you're doing. What's Zeke gonna do this time? Oh, he's got our winner.
Guys.
Let's get it.
Margassi, you not only came away early with the victory royale for 25K, but you walk away the #1. Now, I mean, we just saw you run around. I mean, you've got to have a ton of thoughts in your head. Can you maybe just like try to put anything into words to describe what you're feeling right now?
Besides pure awe, I mean, like I came into this weekend thinking that I was going to play all 3 qualifiers and not even make it to finals, but from that to go into, I was in line and I had no PAX badge and I had to go get one, and then I came back and it's just the whole thing. But I want to say thank you to everybody that supported me, especially my parents. I did it, you know?
I mean, you talked about it early in the interview. You've sacrificed so much time and put all this time into your play, and you show up with a stellar performance. I mean, so not only earlier did you say, hey, Mom and Dad, look, I won a victory royale, I won 25K. Now you get to say, hey, Mom and Dad, I won everything. I've won 250K. What do you think? How are they feeling?
They're probably screaming in the living room right now with my brothers just absolutely going wild. I can only imagine.
Now, what does this money mean to you as a player, dude? I mean, you literally show up and you're like, I'm just going to play PAX. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I'll get 5K. You win and you're just like, life?
I don't think that I've processed how much $250,000 is yet. I don't even know. Probably just...
Dude, if I was in your spot, I'd be speechless too. Is there anything you'd love to say to everyone watching, everyone cheering you on?
Anyone who's pursuing a goal or a dream, just know that keep your grind up. No matter how hard it gets, no matter how tough the times are, it'll be worth it if you keep it up.
Absolutely. Well, not only are you the guy that wins the top, we also have some people here that would like to take a picture with you. Come on out, guys. Come on out. That's right. Come on in. Come on in. Gather around. All right. So not only did everyone, all the amazing skins want to celebrate with you, we'd also, what's your favorite pickaxe, man? Why don't you go ahead and, what do you like to use? You got the Rex, you got this, you got that. What's your favorite pickaxe? That one?
With my old kit.
That's the one? Yep. You got it, dude. Well, let's gather around, everybody. We're going to take a picture with our number 1. So let's just pile in here, dude. Is everyone in here? Yeah.